world-class bullshitters, the epitome of pop culture. I'm your host, Jeff Hicks, and with me tonight is the one, the only, Dion Green.
Baby, boys and girls, children of all ages. When those in power deceit you, when those above you abandon you, when those who you believe in ignore you, Uncle Dion's right here, baby. Let's go.
We're all safer. The world is a better place when Uncle Dion has you in his chocolatey arms. That man chuckling in the background is the Bombay bad boy, Big Red Nick Uter.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you ever need my help, call Dion.
That was good. That was really good. That was really good.
I'm busy. I'm always busy. Don't fucking contact me.
That's why you're my boy, right there. That's why you're my boy. That was awesome.
Now, to people like Mope Service and those in the chat, yes, only my camera is delayed. I apologize for the latency issue. I just haven't had a chance to fix the thing. I bought something. I still haven't done it because stuff's been pretty good here at the channel. We have a lot of new people watching. We had some old crazy numbers on the High Council this week, and it keeps getting better for us here, folks.
Yeah,
but
we may need to
celebrate the growth. We're here to celebrate all of you tonight. So, guys, let me pull up our show notes so we can start tonight's show properly. Now, folks, you probably noticed there was no Dragon Ball Z introduction. That is because I finished Dragon Ball Z, and I just don't think about it anymore. I was on board for those couple weeks, and now it's gone. But I did watch an anime called Angel Cop, and it was bloody and violent, and I would recommend everybody watch it. Most importantly, you, Dion, I think you will fucking love this thing. It's 6 episodes. It's from 1989. It's like RoboCop and a couple other things rolled in one, and there's tits in it too.
Oh, dude, send that to me, man. I'll check it. I'll check it out. What are you watching it on?
It's on a okay. So I found it on this free thing called Retro Crush on my TV, but then I saw it's on Crunchyroll, and I just logged in to watch it there. You can look it up somewhere. I mean, it's kind of popular enough to get like a new release.
We have Crunchyroll, so I can check it out.
All right, well, it's on Crunchyroll.
Hell yeah.
So let's do a couple things while we have everybody join us tonight. Now, folks, Kendo will be here in just a few minutes, probably about 15. He's been taking care of a few things at his day job, and that's about to be over. So Coach Kendo will be able to be here all the time. But folks, we have quizzes, we have games, and we have a lot more than just the Acolyte. But the Acolyte comes first after a few things. So after that, let's see. We got our word of the day, we got our question of the week, and we have a whole lot more. Now, folks, I keep these brief so we don't bog you down with other topics because we know there are many people here for many different reasons. Woke Busters keeps on moving. We are 25% of the way through the campaign, and we are 25% of the way there. So thank you to everybody who continues to back the project. I appreciate everybody who's reached out to ask me questions. As a creator, it feels so good to have people go, ooh, what's this? Ooh, what's that? And like want to know more about the story and then respond, and you have a conversation. So the people out there that have been messaging me through the Kickstarter and other platforms and avenues, thanks. It's been a lot of fun to talk about Woke Busters. And to everybody out there that's like, I want to know more, I'll put out a video next week that gives you the whole creative process. It's a lot of fun, though. It's world class, like always. So other than that, folks, we got a couple more days of the campaign. Let's kick ass and let's go, what, $5-10 trillion? We'll take down the country deficit. Fuck it, man. When we hit $10 trillion, I'm buying your guys' lives. Like, you're officially, I'm just like, look, Dion, I'm buying everything from you. Like, you keep it, but I'm basically giving you a bunch of money to just be on retainer to hang out with me at all times.
Listen, man, I'm going to be like my boy Trevor Lawrence, who just got paid fucking bank. I'm like, listen, pay me, baby. I ain't going to turn it down. You know, we make $10 trillion. You just give me a couple zeros off of all that. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'll be entertaining for a while.
You'll be a billionaire, Dion. You too, Nick.
For that kind of money, we can buy a small country and not worry about anything.
We should buy the biggest country we can afford.
Folks, listen. I'm still.
Where the world's going? You just hire a nice little mercenary crew to keep an eye on things. It might not be that bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You open a resort.
We live
we could always take over a small Italian island. You know, they're selling houses for like $1 or €1. So you know, what is that? $2 US?
Very true. Very true.
Man, we'll just move everybody over.
Yeah, we just take over that small Italian island that nobody wants and make it into, you know, a fucking sandals resort or something. I don't know.
It'll have the world's largest comic book collection, the world's largest film collection. We'll have a film vault. You know what we should do, Nick, is we should license out space, and we should have movie places put their film in our country. That way we can keep climate controlled, and that's like our national export. Like we're the #1 film restoration country on the planet.
Listen, and in terms of the world going to poo-poo in a handbasket, a lot of people pay a lot of money to save my favorite movie. You know what I'm saying? That's a lucrative.
Yeah, that could be a thing, because I mean, even now, I think even now, like they do put some movies on 35 millimeter, but it's obviously it's a lot better regulated, and it's a lot more stable than it was, like, in the fucking 60s and 70s, because it was made with nitrate film, and that would like go up in flames with no notice. And the company vinegar syndrome is actually a thing, because if you smell vinegar from the film, that means it's gone bad, and you have to do a whole thing with it. So why not?
Film's gone bad, Charlie Murphy.
Nick, I can't remember the name of the company, but there is an actual organization that does that, where they just save. They say, well, right now they're saving the digital version, like, of all of our media and stuff, and it's in a hollowed out mountain or something. So there's a precedence for that, and especially movies. I mean, what better way to spend the latter half of your species' existence than watching movies? You know what I mean? Like, come on.
I just want to tell you how thankful I am to get to see the end of humanity. Like, I used to get sad when I was younger. I will never live to see the colonization of Mars. I will never see man travel at light speed, but I will see the planet Earth fall in the next
30 minutes.
45 minutes. If the planet goes down while we're on air, we will be like the band on the Titanic. We will play you out to the end of time.
Play you out.
Hey, would it not be the most human thing on the 25th anniversary of the new millennium that we finally find a way to do it?
I just can't believe it's almost over. Like, this is gonna be a hell of a New Year, Dion.
Listen, man, that's what happens when flat earthers are around us making kids and stuff. Things come to a head at some point.
Listen, that is one bad thing about the South. You do get a lot of those, flat earthing people who want to teach their own kids in the
flat Earth.
It'd be fun if we actually start doing this, and they're like, "Wait, are they just referencing?" Yes, we are. We are also making fun of them because that's hilarious.
Yeah, because we watched a documentary drunk at night. And it was great.
Right. I mean, there's emotional context for us, obviously, but we couldn't
stop laughing at it. We couldn't stop laughing at it.
Right. You get me.
Well, the craziest part is the guy that was in that documentary was a listener of one of our YouTube friends. So I'll tell you more about that off air. I've told you this before.
No. You've told it before. You told it before.
Okay.
I keep forgetting about it, and then you're like, yeah. I'm like, oh yeah. Can you retell? So we'll realign corporately and get that figured out, because I laugh at that story every time I hear it.
Yeah,
because it's awesome.
But speaking of New Year's, you and I need to talk and get our New Year's plans aligned, because we're at the 6-month mark right now. We need to figure it out.
It's crazy that you say that, and it's literally the middle of June, so we actually do have to talk.
Can we stop talking about how the year's halfway over already? This has been way too fast.
I agree, but like, we put an idea out when we were in Horror Hound in March or April, yeah. And like, I love that I made the idea, and like, Dion immediately didn't text his wife, he called her.
Yep. He did.
He's like, listen, I think that's a great idea. Let's go somewhere warm for New Year's. I'm like, apparently it's happening now.
My favorite thing, and then, folks, it's time for the question of the week, which you can email us at info@worldclassbullshitters.com. Now, folks, thankfully, people have been sending emails to the new email, so we're going to have some fun fan mail at the end of tonight's show. Our pal Darian217 is in on tonight's joke. It is episode 404, which means there's a lot of errors going on in the world. Number one being the Acolyte. What an error of a show. But man, has it been fun. We were breaking records on the High Council. We've been kicking ass along the way. Folks, welcome to 2024. We told you it was the year of the bullshitter. And while everyone's here, we are going to Japan next year. 2025, Star Wars Celebration. WCBS will be there because we are putting the world in world-class bullshitters. So, folks, join us around this planet. Maybe one day, maybe next week, we'll go off to the moon. Dion, how would you feel about being the first black dude to podcast on the moon?
One, it would be the greatest thing for humanity since the invention of the condom, but also it would be a dope moment because all my dope friends know that I would say some dope shit on the moon podcasting, and everyone would just stand up and clap because that's how it would.
Because you're so dope, bro.
I'm so dope.
Jeff, give out that email one more time.
info@worldclassbullshitters.com. Yes, folks, we put our big boy pants on, we got the suit jackets on, and we have our own .com. So worldclassbullshitters.com is there for me, not you guys. I haven't published it. It's literally just a website that says nothing on it. We will do that eventually. We'll populate a website. We'll give you guys access to stuff, profiles about us, trivia. We're going to make it a fun website. But you guys can follow us on all of our platforms. We are on Patreon. We're on Twitter. We're on X. Well, X is the same thing. You can find us across all the platforms. Someone asked, where do you get the best bang for your buck? How can you help us the most? Well, I'll tell you this. Patreon only takes 10%. YouTube takes 30, and then you get taxed on top of it. So I'm just saying, if you're trying to, that was a question in the chat. This isn't me trying to ask for anything. But if you're asking that directly, Patreon, because like I said, it's a small percentage and they're the best platform to deal with. I know a couple years ago, everyone was like, we got to quit. They did something to so-and-so. We didn't know what was up. We didn't really follow it. We kept it. It's been solid. I don't really know how they treat everybody, but we've been treated fine. So folks, if you are trying to help us in that way, that's the best way to do it. But just being here is awesome, folks. We appreciate all you guys that are here all the time. We don't care if you've been here a week or 16 months as a member, like some people, or like almost 10 years, like Dr. Coffin Nails. Yeah, it's been a long time, boys. But we have some new segments on the show, and it is the word of the day and the question of the week. Now, the listeners come first here on the channel from so for Shrebbles08. The word of the day is twant. The Acolyte's twant. Star Wars: The Rise of Twants. Witches. Star Wars: Dave's twant witches, and fistful of twants. I got a fistful of that right here. Okay, so obviously this witch chant is the number one thing on the internet. Dion, you've watched The Acolyte. We'll talk about that in depth. But Nick, have you seen the clip yet of the witches dancing?
Yeah, well, I mean, you kind of sent it to me, so I watched what you sent to me, and I was like, oh god, I couldn't.
You know how it really goes.
Just watching it reminded me of just like this is the point when when all these like little girls will watch like The Craft and like those witch movies, and we're like, it's like, oh, this is what I am now. I'm into shiny rocks and horoscopes, and
it's like when all the dudes that I went to grade school and high school with that were like the white guys into rap music, they all became country hillbillies after high school. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And it's their identity. It's like beards.
That's Toby you live in Ohio. That's different.
Dude, what is it? No, the opposite happened in me because I lived in the South. You had a bunch of the white country dudes thought they were black, and it's just like they would have the pants hanging down in the backwards hat and be like, "What's up, my?"
I was okay when they thought they were black.
I was comfortable. Whoa! Man. I was like, "Are you sure you want to say that?" It's like, "All right, fine, whatever." Your funeral.
I miss that shit. That especially growing up in Michigan, the northern Midwest. Even though technically Tennessee should count as part of us. I'm just saying, what I'm saying. But Tennessee and Kentucky technically should be ours. But whatever. They're weird. They're listening to Eminem and then going country. You know what I'm saying? They can't help themselves. But that was a prominent thing. Like just especially when 8 Mile came out.
Oh my god. Oh my
back
god.
when
Mom's spaghetti.
Dude, yeah. Back when Kid Rock was super popular. When pro wrestling was white hot. Like. Them all my boys. They can renege a little bit. I'm gonna make fun of them. But it's hilarious.
Oh, Dion, my favorite word, renege, to go back on something you once agreed to do.
I was talking about that's unrelated to me.
Listen. I dare to say that word 3 times on the college campus right now. Okay.
Hey. Next weekend when we're hanging out, let's go to a college campus, and I will just say I'll start reading really offensive words that are actually just normal words that most college kids should know, but people don't go to school to learn anymore. They go to be offended. I don't know what goes on. Dion,
I hope Jeff, I hope to God you and me run into protesters at in Chattanooga next week or in whatever in a couple weeks or whatever, because they can't really do shit to us. They can really do shit to us.
They'll try to co-opt us and take us. Come on, fight for our cause. Folks, if you want to see a real life story like that, or sorry, if you want to see a fictionalized version of this joke play out, that kind of happens in Wokebusters. There's this protest that Nick and Kendo break up because a man tries to change to identify as innocent, and the people of Portland think that's okay, that you can identify as innocent. And so there's this protest, and we're not really there for the protest, but you guys save the people from the swarm of monsters that attack the city. It's just one of the many silly things we run into. Dion, you and I got it the best, and you get pissed off at me when we're flying around in the sky. So that's all I'll tell about Wokebusters.
The only way I'll support your cause. The only way I'll support your cause is if there are titties and alcohol. That's it.
Titties and beer, right? That's a song.
Listen, college kids are getting a bad rap these days. I mean, a lot of people forgetting because they ain't been on the ground, boots on the ground. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? They be employing those methods a lot more than you think, brother.
It's true.
They be like, I'm upset about this, but also look at this outfit I got on. And I'm just like, you know what? You might be right. That's crazy.
We'll film it, Cortana, just for you guys.
Not really.
All right, ladies.
Really.
Leyden Swallow might have just won right there with me. White Twants can't jump.
The remake's gonna be even funny.
Yeah. The remake of White Men Can't Jump was terrible, dude. Don't even joke. I'm having like flashbacks to that one.
It was terrible.
You had told me, and I was like, it can't be that bad. And I started watching, I turned it off.
Told you. I don't lie to you, man. You're my best buddy. I don't lie to you, man.
It can't be that bad, right? You know, what's his name? Jack Harlow's in it. You know, he can't be that bad. And I was like, I don't want to watch this anymore, Jack Harlow.
He acts as well as Nicole Simpson raps, okay? Not at
Jesus.
all.
So Kips can't rap. I don't want justice, Jack Harlow.
I want to read the question of the week. Folks, send it to the email info@worldclassbullshitters.com. This is a fun night so far. Who or where would you haunt if you were a ghost?
Ooh.
Easy.
Oh, I want to hear this shit. Let's go, dude. 100%.
Let's see. The Playboy house in like 1988.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to do what you do.
I knew it. I knew you were going to say some shit like that. I knew you were going to say some shit like that. I was like, this dude's going to say some ratchet. He's going to be like, yo.
But here's the thing. Dion, are you mad at me, though? Are you mad at me, sir?
Hell no, I ain't mad at you. I might be sitting there right next to you haunted. You know what I'm saying?
The girls do a seance. Why is there a big black ghost in this room right now?
That's just a shadow. Shut up and keep dancing.
I'm just like, don't worry, baby. Just keep doing what you were doing.
The power of one.
It's funny because in the original League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, that's how they catch the Invisible Man. Is he's like in some convent and he's just banging chicks.
Oh, it's Hollow Man. Okay.
And it's like, you're like, man, that's illegal, dog.
Oh my God. What is it? Did you ever see Hollow Man 2 that went straight to DVD?
Is it as good as American Psycho 2?
Yes.
Better. No, it's not in that sense. No, it's not better than
it's not. It's a little bit of a cohesive story, but like you can tell the effects budget was like 1/10 of the one it was for Hollow Man.
Now, guys, this will be the last tangent I go on before we start talking about the Crapolite. But I got an email the other day about, do you want to get the new version of American Psycho on 4K? And it had all these bonus discs and special features. And I went, oh, yes, I do. But then I saw one of the bonus discs was American Psycho 2, and I went, no. So that turned me off. I don't want a bonus movie. You can't sell me shit. Like, because that Ghostbusters box set didn't have the 2016, I made sure I pre-ordered that shit right away. I got the one, the Ghost Trap that everyone goes nuts for. It's a great set. It's a beauty. It doesn't have a physical version of Ghostbusters 2016. If it did, I would not buy it.
That's wonderful.
You can't force crap on.
Actually, Shout Factory just put out the Bill and Ted 3-pack in 4K.
And I'm about to go to shoutfactory.com right after this show. They are not a sponsor of World Class Bullshitters, but Wokebusters is, WokebustersComic.com. So, guys, we have a word of the day from Shrubbles08. We also have a Xavier to God who says, RIP to Mr. NBA logo himself, Jerry West. Yep. Dion, you're a sports guy. How old was Jerry West?
Jerry West, man, he was what? He was like 80. He was like in his early 80s, I think. But that dude, hey, the NBA icon is based on him. Like, that dude was the man, and especially in the early stages of a sport that would take the world by storm. Obviously, it's a huge sport till today. Even by today's standard, Jerry West could fucking ball. So it sucks. Like, it sucks to Jerry, but for all of us, it's a really weird reminder that, hey, we're getting older because all of our heroes, all the dudes and gals out there that inspired all this other shit that we got, they're getting older. They're getting older, and they're saying, peace out.
What do you think will stand the test of time in terms of staying power? The NBA logo or the Jordan Jumpman? What do you think's more iconic?
The Jordan Jumpman.
Listen, the only reason I will say the NBA is because the NBA very clearly they don't succeed, but they very clearly try to say, hey, Jordan Jumpman is a business thing. It's not all the NBA. But my head is also saying Nick is 100% right. But yeah, that's the only reason is because the NBA pays a lot of money to try and keep that separate.
And finally, Xavier to God says, Jeff and Dion, what's your favorite Super Saiyan transformation? Cell and Frieza and Boo. Well, I'll tell you my favorite forms. My favorite Super Saiyan is Super Saiyan 1 because I was watching that show when it was first on Cartoon Network in '99. And so I felt like I was on this big journey to learn what a Super Saiyan was. So that's what I was getting when I was watching DBZ. Hardcore nostalgia for a certain window of time. And then I got to the later episodes and I went, oh, I turned this show off for a reason. Like when Videl comes around, I stopped watching in high school. I thought that show was... But now I went back and finished it, and I'm happy I did, even though the ending's stupid. My favorite Frieza is his final form. My favorite Cell is his perfect... my favorite Cell is the one after Perfect Cell where he explodes when he get all fat and giant. I thought that was cool looking. My favorite Boo is the Fat Boo because it's kind of funny to watch him go like, Boo hate you, is Boo handsome? And all that shit. I kept laughing. So there you go, Xavier to God. Dion, what about you, my friend?
Ooh, favorite Super Saiyan tournament? That's a tough question. I'm going to have to say you took the first one. I'm going to say when Goku was fighting Frieza and he went to it was blue. I think that one was cool because that whole fight was. I mean, the Frieza saga is dope in of itself. But I'm gonna say that's my favorite one. Favorite Boo? Yeah, I gotta go with the Boo that became the meme. That it was funny looking. You know, it was kind of cool, and it's brought me so much freaking joy. Favorite Cell transformation? I don't know a lot about Cell, so I'm to bow out of that one. When was the last transformation?
That was it.
Cool. Yeah. So that's what I meant. Yeah. I'm gonna watch more so I can learn about Cell. But I will a honorable mention would be Black Goku because of the meme, because that was hilarious. Everybody, hold up! This man isn't black.
Does he pay his taxes? So now, folks, we are all caught up. We are here, and we are ready to talk about something that we are dreading, the Acolyte. Now, folks, we've been having fun at Disney Star Wars expense for a while, but it's to help mask the pain. So the pain of Star Wars, it lessens over time, to be honest with you. The thing that hurt me the most, or pissed me off the most, let's say that, is The Force Awakens. That's the one where I went, what is this shit? And I got really mad when people were like, it's so great, it's so powerful, it's so impactful, you don't even know what's going to happen next. I fucking do. I knew it was going to suck. Every time I would be like, this one looks like shit. Then The Last Jedi comes out, and then everybody was like, oh, okay. I've been seeing a lot of comparisons. I've been seeing a lot of people talking about what's worse, The Last Jedi, The Rise of Skywalker. Now there's a third contender, The Acolyte. People are not liking this show, and the people that are here to defend it really don't defend it. Again, they talk about the narrative and the politics and all this other dumb shit that we don't care about. All we want as fans is a good show that we can watch each week and talk about, was it cool, what was awesome, this and that. I've never once, as a Star Wars fan for the last almost 30 years at this point, gone, man, I hope this Tuesday night I watch a bunch of witches sing to the sky, one for many, and then they fucking line up a moon, and like, it was shit. So, Dion, we were texting each other back and forth through this week's Acolyte. This is a trend we have. We should do some kind of video where you and I will just get together for 20 minutes and go, what did you think? And then blah, 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 and that's the Acolyte for that. We'll still do regular reviews, but I want to hear what Dion's got to say.
Listen, I one, love that idea. Two, yes, we were 100% texting each other, like not even on show stuff. It's just because we're Star Wars fans and we're best friends, and it's like, hey, are you watching? Oh, I'm watching it, and we were just sending shit back and forth. But in terms of the show, oh my god, like it's listen, and I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like I understand the hype behind it. I understand the internet's response to that hype. And listen, and even, because, all these fans have been listening to us say, pretty much the same thing and pretty much that this was going to happen. I understand the need that Star Wars has for there to be pushback. So yeah, that all being said, oh my gosh, the worst thing is that it's just so weird and boring. Like the witch thing, like what was that? Like, and listen, again, before, people who are gonna occasionally come into this and they say, oh man, this show is talking shit. Like, listen, I was again texting my buddy, watching it with my wife, and they got to that, and we looked at each other when they're do you promise? And we were like, the thing that we kept saying is they're trying so hard. And listen, if you need a bigger example of what is wrong with not just the Acolyte, but with Lucasfilm in general, this episode 100% is the worst one of the three. But this is going to be something that is talked about for a long time. That episode was the definition of a nothing burger. And the fact that Disney spent that much money on this episode is not only hilarious, but it's going to be a case study for the internet's reaction to Star Wars for years, because it was so weird. Like, what is happening? What is happening?
Bro, I audibly went, what the fuck? Because when the girl goes, you don't want to do the ascension, that's how we become witches. I went, what am I watching? Like, I understand there are force witches and all this other hokey bullshit from other regions of Star Wars that none of us liked in the first place anyway. Like, I get it. If you're an EU enthusiast, more power to you. I respect you guys. I don't think your book should have been wiped away. But I will say this. Everything that's on print or in print doesn't really work on film. Like Lucas even said, like the great Harrison Ford said before we kidnapped him, you can type this shit, but you can't say it. Some of this is great in your mind. We'll have magic and they'll do this. It doesn't ever work. Star Wars isn't, I get it, it's space fantasy, but there is a hard science fiction edge in the older ones and in the newer prequel stuff that they don't put in this anymore that is really losing what Star Wars is about. It's about more than the Force. It's about more than Jedi. It's about more than family or power or all this bullshit. It's good versus evil is what Star Wars is about. Every publication, every documentary, everything that's ever been put out in existence that's not Star Wars itself talks about how it's the eternal struggle of good versus evil, the best representation of good versus evil. This gray area deconstruction, trying too hard, is boring, folks. Like, that's the problem with the Acolyte. It is absolute trash. The articles that are trying to say the fans are this or that, they're not. The fans are not entertained. You got to go pull the worst shit out of your hat. Like, here, let me pull a card out of my deck and go, what am I going to call the fans this week? Oh, it's bigots. Who's got $20 on bigots right here? That bingo shirt will be ready next week, folks, I promise. Well, we'll wear it and we'll play it, Nick, every week on the show. We'll go like, what did press this week? B4. That'd be an O there.
And listen, and that is a perfect example of the, it's funny because now the fans realize it. Like, in terms, especially for people who talk a lot of shit in their life, that someone is affected by what you say, by how they react, right? So very early in our relationship with this version of Lucasfilm, we would say stuff, they call us names, blah, 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 blah. But now it's just one of those like automatic, that's a corporate thing. So Lucasfilms and Disney are battling that already. And then to your other point about how boring it is, like, it is just so serendipitous. It's the same year that Roger Corman does blah blah blah, and so many channels talk about it. And every channel that does a thing on Roger Corman says, hey, the thing that he was biggest on was entertaining the audience. That was his thing. He even verbally said, was quote is like, listen, it's okay to have a message in your movie, but it should never be the first thing. And the first thing you want to do is entertain your audience. And the Acolyte is a prime example of what you're talking about. That corporate thing, like, we get it. We're part of the people, and they get people to buy into it. and they have the media, and they're gonna say the same shit to do what they have to do to make it successful. Now, for the people who defend the Acolyte, at the end of the day, to Jeff's very point, if the Acolyte needs the company who made the show to do all these things to defend it, that by definition means it's not very good. And this episode perfectly encapsulates why Disney Lucasfilm is not that good. It's just so weird that they are trying so hard. And for the people that are talking about, well, you have to build and you have to do blah, 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 that's not how this works. The episode 3 makes it your job to follow along. They make it your job to watch. They make it your job to participate, to sit there. And it's not interesting. And that's the problem. The fans aren't bigoted. Listen, if the internet's going to say wild shit, that's just what the internet does.
It always has.
But the people aren't entertained. And this episode is so boring and so weird and so cobbled together, where you have, this is important about these characters because we're telling you so. And they don't know how to tell the story. And they hired the director, who the only thing that he does, he's done a couple episodes of Korean dramas, and he made an episode of Star Wars like that. That was boring.
I laughed so hard when I was like, directed by Konadonga. I was like, what the fuck is a Konadonga? And I looked it up. I was like, oh. And then I sent you the picture, and you knew exactly who it was right away. I was like, oh, okay, I need to be a little more cultured. Star Wars also needs to, like, it would have been it was a bigger deal, even though he dropped the ball equally. When Robert Rodriguez directed, was it The Mandalorian or The Book of Boba Fett? That was a name that fans cared about. You're going to say, well, Jeff, the world watches Star Wars now. Motherfucker, they have since the beginning. Don't tell me that the biggest movie of all time didn't reach other countries when there's famous stories about they went to Japan to go screen Star Wars and nobody made a sound and they were worried it failed. But that's the greatest respect they can show a film in Japan. Absolute silence. You guys are really just pulling it out of your ass at this point. There's nobody on the planet that likes to be bored to tears. That's why people play video games and other shit. We now have technology. We now have entertainment. We have toys that look, well, these don't look that great, but we have shit that looks better than it ever has before. And this is the crap you give us? Like, the streaming wars are a thing. People have more options than ever. You really don't have a chance to piss off the core repeat customers, the people that made those movies make the $2 billion for The Force Awakens. Those are the people you can't afford to lose, but you already have with subpar entertainment. Take your L's. Stop making weird shit that nobody wants. Like, we'll talk about the press and all this stuff in a moment, but like, Dion, I'm, like you said, you're bored. There isn't a single character that I really want to see go on and do something cool because they're all going to die anyway. And how much bullshit is it? They're trying to paint like, oh man, that Jedi, he poisoned himself because he's so ashamed of the fire the girl started. Are we going to learn that he used a mind trick? Like, what is this?
It's such shitty storytelling. So even, and again, you know, people on the internet are going to get mad at us, but again, when you're at the end of the day, you want people to watch. That's what you're making an episodic program for, right? So it is very clear that the Acolyte started, we want this to be seen as a big deal, and they worked backwards from that. So to your point about that specific storyline, the Acolyte is working by, let's make sure we check every important box that's supposed to happen at this point in the show. In the beginning, you have a setup of the characters, you have an action scene, they reference the thing that's supposed to be the climax of the show, and your hero show regret, and then there's the hero, and then you have the twist of it. Like, it is a by the numbers show that is done with nothing to back it up. So the thing that you're talking about, where, you know, she's hunting down the Jedi Master, she gets the one, he poisons himself, and he says, we thought we were doing the right thing. And your next episode is a nothing burger that convolutes your convolution. Doesn't mean that the thing that you're making is of quality. And the Acolyte thinks that being complicated means it's good. And it's so hilariously stupid to do. It's just so bad. You know, the girl starts. So even if we get to the end of the show and that's, hey, we bamboozled you as a viewer, you didn't do anything to set it up correctly.
No.
So it's just, oh, they're young kids and this thing happened. And we're not only getting the introduction of the kids, we're getting the thing to split them up right away. And you don't have the time to put it in an episode. So you cram it all in. And now your viewers are just like, what the fuck is going on?
And there are 5 more episodes.
Good. Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
We were told before this show came out last year, there's no war in this show. This is a show that people are going to watch. It's a time of peace. It's a time of enlightenment. It's a time of the High Republic. And I don't like it at all because it's boring. Like, so folks, you remember, if you didn't watch it, but there was an episode of The Mandalorian season 3 where it was just like a complete detour and everyone was pissed. Now this does build, but they like to do these flashbacks or these detours before you ever get fully invested. You should have put this as like the 5th episode of the show. Then you have your last 3 episodes to close out the finale and go home strong. It's like this show is the Shockmaster, Dion. It fell through the wall. It tumbled over. The fireworks went off. Some people cheered because they were confused. But overall, you have something memorable for all the wrong reasons. And I just realized I need a Shockmaster button on the channel, dude. But like, I get so many people. Like, I went to a comic book store today, and they were talking about the Acolyte, not in a positive way. I went out, to my friend's house. We were talking about, I was over at Phil's, and I said something about the new Star Wars show. He's like, I don't give a shit. And this is Phil, who likes Star Wars, who can quote, he used to watch episode 3 every day at lunch in his car. Like, he loves that movie. That's his Star Wars. He's got lightsabers and some stuff. Like, he's a fan. He's a day one. I'll watch every movie in theaters, buy the popcorn buckets, do all this shit. He can't even be bothered. And he's more accepting and forgiving of The Force Awakens than I am. You know how petty I am, folks? When my buddy Phil bought his house, I helped him move. I found his copy of The Force Awakens and I hid it in some box, and he hasn't found it, and it's been 6 years. So I hate that movie so much that I'm going to make sure he can't find it. Now, Dion, I know you're pissed at me because of Iron Man 2, but it wasn't just me. It was Hildar too.
That's true. And that game was driving me crazy. It was turning me into an insane person.
I'll tell you off air this game that's been driving me crazy, but for all the right reasons. It's so fucking fun, but it's hard at times. So I'm into it.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
So the Coven of Witches, the Coven of Lesbian Witches in Space. I mean, you can just keep adding on descriptors to make it funnier and funnier. And the Batman out there, I see you, man. I don't disagree with your statement. Like I say here, folks, we will never call for a boycott. That's up to you guys to vote with your wallet and do what you want. We're just here to entertain you and let you know what goes on so you don't have to spend the money to watch the show. But the Batman, I don't disagree, man. If you feel that strongly about it, go for it, dude. There are companies I don't support either myself. And by the way, to the person on screen, I just dog with bad credit. That's a great screen name. So I just wanted to acknowledge you because I really like your screen name. But Dion, the power of one, the power of many, and all that other dumb crap. My first complaint, though, on the show on Tuesday was, what's the deal with the black lady uses the Force to create life inside of the white alien lady. The girls come out slightly lighter skinned, but like, why don't they get any of the alien features? Like, that was kind of weird to me. I get it. You want this actress to play this role, but why give her an alien mother? Or why even do this? Why not just have them be... Why can't we have a Star Wars show without some convoluted backstory of the character's birth or something shitty? Like, just they fucked up Han Solo. Fuck, okay. Who did they ruin?
Listen, again, that's the thing. And again, we're going to have this issue talking about the Acolyte for years, right? There are going to be people who are
be talking about it for years. Come on now, man.
Listen, not in terms of its popularity or it being good, but I 100% feel that the Acolyte's going to be the thing that, eventually, if Lucasfilm ever gets their shit together, they're going to look back and be like, yeah, that was a bad idea. Because when your product, when your show is automatically making the fans of that thing question the fabric of your idea, that means automatically you failed. So the fact that you even ask a question, yo, we've all seen it's aliens and everything. We've seen it, Star Wars has taken that seriously as a property. Okay, the mother, whatever, held them in her womb and they don't have any features of her. We all know why, right? Like, it's they but the fact that it's so easy to see that is also the problem. Lucasfilm Disney just has this thing where they have to constantly be getting a message out at all times. And it comes through to where you have made a storyline that doesn't make any sense. So just because you want to have, cute little black girls with dreads in your show, you forgot about storytelling. Hey, the person who bore them is not human and has very specific characteristics.
Yeah, she's a Zabrak, like
not any of them. Exactly. It's just the fabric of the story doesn't make any damn sense, and it's just so funny.
Well, I don't try to get self-righteous or anything, but I chuckled and I thought you would appreciate this too. I'm like, these people don't get how interracial babies work. It's like you don't just because I laughed the whole time. I didn't say it outright on the High Council. People couldn't get what I was getting at. They're like, oh, the lesbians, oh, the zygote, oh, this, oh, that. I'm like, when you mix people, you mix people. You're not just going to randomly look like this actress because you cast her. That bitch better have horns and those fucking tattoos on her face. I was like, come on, guys. If you're going to go full retard, at least get your shit right. Do the homework. Don't look stupid. Yeah. Because
and again, that's not us being a weird way about, and again, the internet is going to have weird things to say about the mother's thing and all this. We get that. That's just how the internet works. We're not endorsing it. We're just saying, hey, we grew up in Xbox chat rooms, but
did. AOL, man.
Yes, right. It's just, it doesn't make sense because you want to have these kids look a certain way to appease a group of people that you have your show. Hey, their mother, the maternal part of them, they look nothing alike. So that means accidentally they should, in your worldview, they should look like their actual mother, not their force creator thing. Yeah,
dude. What the fuck was that? That was so. Yeah. Thank you for at least picking up what I was putting down because I was so frustrated, and it's like I was saying it just as clear, and everyone's just like, I don't get it. That's just that's the thing that pisses me off because they want to get so self-righteous and they want to get so pretentious and put this shit in there. Get it right because you guys suck for every reason possible, including not getting that right. That everybody wants to bitch about the fire in space. I get it. It's stupid. I'm not giving a pass to Disney at all. I read this bullshit article today talking about, fans need to stop complaining. It's fantasy. And then they try to list off all these other things. Whatever, lady. But you got to stop with we're at a point now where the internet has conditioned people to expect certain things to just be certain things. Stop fucking with science for the sake of it looks cool on film. I'm at the point where
it's not even that. It's like when you've established something in your universe. So I'm not even saying that George Lucas or Lucasfilm or Disney did it on purpose. But when you're making a story, you're telling a story. Jeff doesn't say that to be like, fuck it with science, blah, blah. No, he's not being bare bones about it. It's part of continuity. When you're telling a story to an audience, when they're watching it, it should make sense to them automatically. You're not trying to subvert expectation at every corner. So when he brings that up, what he's saying is, listen, even Star Wars is like, hey, when people have kids, what I'm saying? People have kids, and now you're doing this ultra fantastic thing. There are a lot of ultra fantastic movies that involve a lot of actors, and no one likes them because they do shit like this, where it's like, hey, technically, black lady's their mom and call her mom, but their maternal mother is an alien. Okay. And it's just like, that's part of the story though. What?
But Dion, that's how we normalize these things by not talking about them.
Right. Right. Right.
Somebody in the chat's like, you guys are trying to make sense out of something that doesn't make sense. I get it. We're overthinking it. Is there, you can't bullshit a bullshitter, Mac Millies, you damn right, especially when they're world class, because it's the best. I have taught. Okay, so folks, the other day we made the video that's chugging along great. Everyone's been awesome. Thank you, folks. We appreciate you. The writer of Forbes had followed us on Twitter, like already. Like I clicked on his bio to learn more about it because like this is a good take. And we've been talking on X just a bit, nothing like super secretive or anything like that. But it's just funny, like all he has said to me is what's in the article and stuff outside of like opinion things. But like next week's episode's shorter. I don't know if shorter is going to be better, because if it's shorter, are we going to feel, I guess you would want less of something bad, but I feel like if you're going to commit some amount of time, you at least want it to make sense. And usually when people critique something for being short, it's lacking something. So can you imagine a world where episode 4 of this show tops episode 5? Or sorry, 4 tops 3. I'm sorry, I messed that up. I was reading the chat right now.
Oh, I mean, I can, because of how bad 3 was, and the fact that the first 3 episodes are just not very good. I can. It would be hilariously crazy, but I could see 4 being worse than 3. I could, because it is very clear that Lucasfilm is purposefully making bad content based on they feel that viewers just watch things in checkboxes now. So when you think that way, when you're making a multi-episode program and you're just like, hey, people like loud flashes, nice colors, and words, if that's how you see it, I can see things getting worse, because that same group of people are going to be like, yo, the first 3 are going to be awesome. The hell with the last 3. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I can see it being that bad. I will be surprised if 4 isn't worse than 3. I'll say that.
I just can't wait to see how it ends, because I know the end stream is going to be hilarious and fun. Excuse me. Sorry for that. Overall, this show's a disappointment. Worst episode of the series easily, because there's only 3. I'll go as far as to say worst episode of any Disney Star Wars show ever put to digital tape, because it's shit. Am I going to say it's as bad as the prequel or the sequel movies? It's shorter, so no. And here's the thing too. We're all fans of something. We all love Star Wars, but we all like different elements. Let me be myself for a minute, not Mr. World Class Bullshitter. I care about the first movie, the second movie, and the third one on a good day. The stuff that I saw raked over the coals, bent over, put in dry, that all happened in those movies, and that was the Star Wars I actually cared about. Those are movies and things that I have spent thousands of dollars on toys, have t-shirts of. There's a fucking Star Wars poster right here. Like, I got this super cheap at an Ollie's Toy Run, and I couldn't pass it up. So it's like, I love this. This is the thing that I cared about at one point. This was my favorite thing for a while. So I saw that get shit on. And so I've become desensitized. So I can't say that it's the worst thing ever, because I don't care about Anakin being the immaculate birth in the Force, because I thought that was stupid as a kid. I grew up when we all shit on episode 1 because of the midichlorians and the immaculate birth and all of the things that people are like, oh, it's so cool because of this. It sucked back then. Everyone's like, what the fuck is this? This is Star Wars, not something else. So that's why I'm just being honest with you guys. You shouldn't really fuck with the canon or lore, though, because that's stupid. But I can't say this is the worst Star Wars thing, but definitely the worst Star Wars TV show. Now, after my rambling, Dion, where would you put this in the worst Star Wars thing ever? I'd still watch the holiday special over this, though.
Listen, this is definitely the worst episode of any Star Wars content for sure. This is the worst. It was the equivalent of watching, a high school kid who is in, theater and filmmaking make their first thing, and you're happy that they made it, but you're like, it's not very fucking good. Like, it is in that level of so bad it's bad, for sure. In terms of all of Star Wars, listen, I still think for me, caveat one is I still think The Force Awakens is still so bad. But The Last Jedi, I still say The Last Jedi is worse because that was, again, proof positive of what we're dealing with till today. So that being said, yeah, Last Jedi is still worse, but man, this one it's definitely the worst episode of any Star. I agree. I would 100% watch the holiday special over episode 3 of the Acolyte because it is so bad. This was some fan-made level shit.
Fans would have done a better job, honestly, because
they would have.
You got to remember. Okay, so I am of the mind that you should like the thing you're working on, or at least have knowledge of it. You don't have to be just like a fan that can't create stuff, but you should be a fan of the thing you're working on to know how it works or how it doesn't work. And it really is painfully obvious that the people making this show are making it about them. It's about Leslie Headland's sister and her relationship. There are articles out there talking about it. It's about personal stuff, issues that these ladies have had in the real world. I don't want to make a pass. I feel bad for whatever. Let me rephrase it. I want to be a human being about these things, but keep it out of my goddamn show because the show is not the place for you to bitch about it. Go take it out with those people. You know, we can show sympathy and compassion towards somebody's plight, but not in Star Wars. What the hell is this, lady? Like, and this is a problem with all creatives today. And this is back to the Forbes article. We have so many people masquerading around as these creative people that know what they're doing. They don't. One of the greatest honey dicks in history was Benioff and Weiss. And what happened when Game of Thrones ended? They got fired from Star Wars. I think they lost their Netflix deal. Where are they? They're not anybody anymore. J.J. Abrams, he's kind of just a name as a producer. Did he direct anything post The Rise of Skywalker? The most expensive flop ever? Like, come on now.
Right.
These people are really terrible at their job. Lucasfilm keeps picking the wrong people, or they pick the right guy one time, and I don't know what they did to Jon Favreau, but they fucked it up. That dude started the MCU. That dude could have started Disney Star Wars, and that dude could have done any other franchise because he gets it. He's good enough to be a filmmaker. He's good enough to be an actor, a writer, whatever he does. I tend to like for the most part. He's got a likable demeanor as a character on film, and he got it with Iron Man. Like, come on, Iron Man was great. We talk about it almost like 16 years ago. We talk about Iron Man like this moment in time where superhero movies changed and elevated and something else happened. Dude would have done the same shit. We got candy-ass Dave Filoni, Kathleen Kennedy. Everybody sucks at Lucasfilm. No one's made a good Star Wars movie since 1983. So fuck it. That's what I got to say.
It's and again, you know, to your earlier point, like, yeah, man, like we get it. We get it that you want to have something to say. But again, you know, in the year of Roger Corman, right? Like, if you can't entertain, you know, the Acolyte is the epitome example of when you've got something to say, but you have no idea how to say it. And the Acolyte is trying so hard, where you're just putting characters in, you're dressing them up in Star Wars, and you're saying, hey, this is Star Wars, you should like this. And it's unearned arrogance by Disney Lucasfilm. It really is. And you know, you're trying to introduce, and this is what this was, right? This episode was them trying to make Maya and Osha on the same level as Anakin. You know, this was Disney Lucasfilm trying to circle the wagons back and give you a character that you have in the same regard, and they just failed. They failed, and again, it has nothing to do with their genders, orientations, what they believe, their skin color. What it has nothing to do with that. You couldn't get the job done, so You're trying to introduce this coven of witches. We have no reason to believe they are nothing more than a bunch of random chicks in robes on the back end of the galaxy. But because the dialogue is put together in a way that gave Alec Guinness legitimate concern about the film, you know, I'm just of the belief now that the original trilogy was the exception, not the rule. You know, Alec Guinness and Han Solo, you know, the script being that way, it just worked with Star Wars, and people keep trying to copy that, right? So the Acolyte is the exact example of that. They talk like this in Star Wars. They do this. We see lightsabers, and that's Star Wars. And it's made by people who don't get, you don't have to be a huge Star Wars fan, but it's made by people who don't know how to tell a good story. I have no reason theatrically to give a shit about those witches. Just because you have a scene where they're given an insignia that is permanent doesn't make it cool. It was thrown into the story and it looked weird. It is the exact same reason why the sequel trilogy, so to speak, for Harry Potter flopped. You just know you want to make a Harry Potter movie. The Acolyte is an example of you want to make a Star Wars show, so you just made one. And it doesn't have the skill to tell a Star Wars story. You have the whole episode is built to a climactic scene where it's supposed to set the stage for the rest of the show. This is where she turns evil. This is where the event happens where they're split up. This is supposed to be the thing where we all see why a Jedi Master chose a pupil who eventually failed, and it was told horribly, and I don't care. And it was done haphazardly because you wanted to look a certain way. And it's so apparently in the shitty storytelling. I was not entertained just because it's about, hey, they happen to be two chicks who had kids. It was poorly told, plain and simple, plain and fucking simple. We have no reason to rewatch this episode. You could not watch episode 3 of The Acolyte and be okay. That's not how you make a fucking show.
No.
That's not how you do it.
Yeah, 3 episodes in, and you're like, there's a burner. Like, come on now.
Yeah, man.
I see a lot of people out there. One thing I wanted to jump on, though, you mentioned Harrison Ford and Alec Guinness. Like, you don't have I'll take Alec Guinness out of this for a second, but there's no Han Solo in any of the movies, including the prequels, where there's just a relatable dude that people can go, that guy's cool, and you laugh along with him, and he does stupid shit, and he gets away by the skin of his teeth, and he's got a cool ship and a sidekick. Han Solo's awesome. There's Smokey and the Bandit. There are other characters or other things out there that can get that kind of a dude dynamic, but that's lacking because Lucas created a sterile universe. He's like, I want to show the cleanliness before the Empire. It's 19 fucking years. Like, look at a real world fall in 19 years and see how that shit changes. I don't believe that the Empire, that's the problem with Star Wars too. You talk about the exception versus the rule. They wrote it originally as like, oh, for millennia and this and that. And then they're like, that's just a couple years. And it's just a fraction of time. And it's this and it's that. And like all this epic shit happens like every day. Like when we were living in the pandemic, we would bitch, I hate living through history. All the people of Star Wars do is live through historical event every day. This happens, that happens. The Star Wars timeline's like a fucking pee at the end of the day. They can't get out of their own way or do something new or different. And the one thing they do is they make it sterile and clean and whatever and boring. Get some fucking livelihood. Get some humanity into your story, people. Even Andor, which had some great looking visuals and stuff. It's so solemn and fucking boring. Come on now. I want to see people. And look, it's a war. I get it. War isn't supposed to be fun, but show other emotions than and stop having everything be a goddamn gray tone and stop making it look like Somali and stop making it look shady. Come on. You guys do not get the point of it. It's like you skipped the day in class where the teacher's like, these are the notes that are on the test. Do this, you'll get 100%. They were off fucking around at Starbucks or something. They show up the next day. Oh, we got all this stuff. They just don't get it, man. And I don't care anymore. Like, I'm going to watch it for the show. It's a great laugh. I don't care about any. Okay, let me ask you this. Is there any of the narrative that is even mildly compelling? Like, I try to say that Jedi Master Soul Korea is cool. I can't say yes. I think every element is stupid.
No, there's nothing that's cool. There's nothing that's interesting. It is literally a by the numbers production, and any characters, they do things because plot. Things happen because plot. The way the story's even put together, right? Like, there's no. It's a very formulaic jigsaw puzzle that is clearly shown in episode 3. So no, there are no characters that are compelling. There's no storylines that are compelling. It's going to go exactly where we think it's going to go, and it's going to be uninteresting every second of the way.
Like was it Crypto Bendu says, the number 1 and number 2 and the many. Yeah, there are many number 2s. 3 of them so far for this episode or this series.
But even then, that line was put in there because what's her name that's in charge of the Acolyte and this
Leslie
director,
Headland?
Leslie Headland and Kata Nanabubu, they put that in there because they've watched episode 1 once. And you can tell because they just repeat it. And where you have the weird thing where the kids have this saying that we're supposed to believe is organic, if there's no me without you, and if there's no 1 without 2, blah, blah, blah. It's like, we get it. You guys saw that part where Yoda goes, always 2 there are, no more, no less. And you just copied it to try to make something of the same level. And it's just so frustrating. Dude, it's just like, hey, yeah, it's just so frustrating.
You made a great point. You brought up the frustration. The girl wants to become a Jedi because she likes the way they wear their robes. That's the line. That's not interpretation. See, folks, we don't need to read into this show any deeper to slay it. You just go on the surface level. You're like, what the fuck is this? Then when you do go to the deeper levels, you realize it's empty. It's like a basement with nothing in it but mold and shit. You don't want that. You just go upstairs and you deal with the crap there. Terrible comparison. Let's move on. So Tion, anything else you want to say about the Acolyte? I mean, me personally, we'll be watching it Tuesday. We'll be back on Tuesday night, and
listen, the Acolyte is hilariously bad, and again, I get the whole, oh well, you guys just want listen. We have an internet show that we talk about it. That's what we do. That being said, we're talking about it because it's that bad, and that's not even us being a certain way, man. So that's I a part of me. This is as excited I was after we watched the Eternals. It's the exact same situation.
Oh my god,
dude, you're not wrong, man. This is I'm feeling 2018 levels of excitement with the Acolyte. I'll just put that out there. It's been fun.
Well, and I know you guys are shitting on the show from episode 1, and the first episode you guys put in a little group chat here, and it was hilarious to just watch it back and forth. But I started an episode. I started a new show. I started an old show recently called Silicon Valley. I know it's from 2014. But like the first episode I watched, I was like, it got me. I was excited to watch it. It was like, what's going on? What are these guys doing? Holy shit, that's ridiculous. And they're making fun of the whole tech industry. And it's hilarious how they do it. And it's hilarious how tongue-in-cheek they are, even with all their jokes and the dialogue. It's fucking amazing. It's so much fun.
I want to watch that show because
here's the thing. It's 5 dudes in a house. There's really no effects. There's no nothing. It's just like storytelling, funny shit, and dialogue. I mean, it's all based in California, which that's here nor there. But it's a good show. It's a really good show.
Well, that's a good example, man. Like, you can tell the Acolyte wants the accolades of a show like Silicon Valley. They want the accolades of a show like The Wire. They want the accolades of a show like The Sopranos. And you can tell that it's just them looking at, hey, let's all write down the things that these shows did, and we're just going to do those things. And it's just a by the numbers thing. I was just telling Hillary about The Wire. And, we've been talking about this for years. She's like, I got to watch it. I'm like, you have to watch it. And I'm telling her about episodes, and the Acolyte just isn't that. They want to create great characters. Omar is arguably the greatest character out of The Wire, if not television. And the way they told the story for you to become a fan of Omar was by showing you how cool he is and what he does. And the Acolyte cannot even do that.
Nope.
But it wants to be that based on how much we're seeing the commercials for it.
Well, it wants to be, like you said, impactful. But you got to be good to be impactful.
Yep.
None of these shows that we talk about are bad.
Yeah. And what's funny is they have like a funny like Indian tech joke in the second episode of Silicon Valley where Dinesh, played by Kunal Nabjabi, Ken served actor, one of the guys who's managing the new company, Pied Piper, is like, hey, what you know, he's asking him for his paperwork. You know, he's like, oh, what's your green card number? He's asking for that. He's like, no, I was born here. And apparently it's the white guy Gelfoy, who's a Canadian, who needed the paperwork.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I don't like comedy, but I like comedy.
But it's one of those things where it's like they do a lot of funny tongue-in-cheek shit, and it's like every episode there's something that goes wrong, and you have to you want to see what happens and what happens in the next episode. It's just, I don't know. I've enjoyed. I think I'm a season and a half into it. I'm in the end of the second season. I like the characters. I love the guys. A lot of good actors in it. It's really funny. It kind of reminds me of the tech version of what the fuck is it? Entourage. Like if you just made those, if you made those shows in the same time in like the same state, that's kind of how it is. But I really enjoy Silicon Valley, man. I highly recommend it. It's on Max right now, I think. So yeah.
Won't it stay there? Because isn't that an HBO original?
Correct. Yeah, it is. So yeah, dude, go check it out. That's where I'm watching it. It's a fun show. Once again, no effects. It's just funny dialogue and funny situations. That's all it is.
That's what I want. No effects. I'm CGI'd out. I'm desensitized to CGI. We have a lot to talk about tonight, folks. Do not go anywhere. Hit that thumbs up button. We're going to be having some fun. We're going to be checking with you in a minute. We're going to be playing a game of Quiz Coach Kendo. We have explained a film plot badly and a whole lot more. So, by the way, Andrew in the chat who had said about watching The Boys, I will be starting The Boys tomorrow. I'll have a video out for the first 3 episodes as a review, and that way we'll keep The Boys as a weekly thing that we can review here on the channel, much like The Acolyte. Remember, folks, we may have a lot of views from Star Wars, but our most views come from Marvel. But realistically, we like to cover all of entertainment because we have the same world-class take on everything. Remember, we are students of the game. Dion, speaking of games, bro, you need to get yourself a copy of 2K24, and you need to get it fast.
I know, dude. I do got to do that. I do have to do that.
Somebody in the chat, maybe it's either Hopkins or Andrew, whoever types in a number first, you're going to get to pick the button before we check in with the audience. Kendo, is there anything you wanted to say about The Wire before we jump into anything else? Because it is your favorite show.
Look, welcome. Kendo here, coming to you live from Southeast Asia, or at least it sure fucking feels like it here today. I would talk for hours about The Wire. I could never get tired of talking about The Wire. The Wire is one of the greatest, if not possibly the greatest television show ever created. It's got everything you want for it. It's got good characters. It's got bad characters. Even the bad characters are written good. You kind of find yourself rooting for Omar, and you feel bad when little Kennard pops his ass. But you feel good when Kennard gets the shit beat out of him by, Michael. So there's all these good things. It's a cop drama, but it's not a cop drama because it's a crime drama. I don't know. If you've never seen The Wire, first punch yourself in the face and then go watch The
Wire. Oh man. No,
so last night, I swear I'm not going to go on a super tangent, but since we're talking about the greatest shows ever, I couldn't sleep last night. I was flipping through Facebook and they had a reel of Breaking Bad, and it was the one where Mike took all the money. Show. Yeah, it was the one where Mike, Jesse, and Walt were dividing the money after Gustavo had been killed, and Mike kept taking all the cut for the 9 guys in prison and all this shit. I'm like, man, how is Walter White keeping his composure? And I've seen this show, and I had to go, wait, I got to see how Mike dies. So I went back and I rewatched that clip, and I'm like, I miss getting excited for a show that was worth getting excited for. I'm seeing a lot of contradictory things about The Boys. I'll watch it and find out the comic book's fucking weird. Like, and that last season, or maybe 2 seasons ago, when the guy got shrunk tiny and went into the dude's dick and sneezed the cocaine and blew him up from the inside. I will say I'm getting tired of that because it's trying to top itself every episode, and you get desensitized to it. It's just not as cool anymore. So I'll have a review for that. I'll leave that one. Oh, you already watched it?
Yeah, well, first 2. I haven't watched the 3rd episode, but we watched the first 2.
Yeah. Today's the day where the new season started. Yeah. Today's the day.
It's hard to watch 3 in an afternoon for me.
I don't blame you, man. I don't blame you. That show's wild.
No, man. I got tons of shit to do, and I'm happy to do it. Number 7 says Hopkins von Rabbitarius, excuse me. So let's go down to number 7. places to be.
Oh, these new headphones work great on the bass. It says it's all about the bass, and I could definitely feel some rumble in my head.
Yeah. Folks, if you enjoy that button or any of the variations of said button, we have the t-shirt on shopwcbs.com right now. So go over there, get yourself a copy of that wonderful shirt. Our pal Darian217 has one. He worked to a WrestleMania meetup. Yeah, we go to WrestleMania and hang out. Join us in 2 years because we're going to Japan next year. Sorry. But yeah, folks, go to shopwcbs.com, get yourself a shirt, get yourself 2 shirts. Hell, get yourself a Woke Buster shirt. Get ready, get excited. It's almost here. Thank you to everybody who's making it possible. Let's see. Xavier to God. We read his Dr. Coffin Nails. Godzilla -1 cost $15 million or less. Compare that to the Acolyte and let that sink in. Also, don't forget to smash that like button. Yes, folks, it will help us reach more people. Hit that thumbs up button, folks. We appreciate the support. Yeah, we're talking $1 million a minute on the Acolyte, and what is it? It's a stone building catches fire, and there's some lesbian witches. That's awesome. The gay hood on.
I don't know. Lesbian witches always seems like it goes together, like lesbians and Subaru, you know, all the time.
True, but it's like, no, I'm not going to get into that here.
Be fair, my mother drives a Subaru, so I take sort of offense to that. But then again, I've seen perfect examples of what Nick was talking about. So it's
so I'm like, I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong.
You're not wrong, but it doesn't apply to every case.
Did she have any Birkenstocks? Never mind.
Birkenstocks.
She wouldn't even know how to fucking spell that.
Oh God.
So, by the way, folks, I have this announcement to make too. I'll be on the side scrollers in 2 weeks, so join me over there again. It's a lot of fun with Blabs and Craig.
Nice.
John Thomas, thank you very much. Watched an anime in 70s, was on every morning before school. Battle of the Planets G-Force, not the guinea pigs. It was re-edited anime, different story than the original in Japan. Zoltar was the big bad. So, correct me if I'm wrong, John, but I'm pretty sure that Gatchaman was re-released when Star Wars came out and kind of not based on Star Wars at all, but they made it more spacey and stuff like that because of that popularity. But I've known about the Battle of the Planets or Gatchaman or whatever you want to pronounce it for many years. I love the character designs. Alex Ross did a really badass painting of all of them, like a descending down from the sky for the DVD or Blu-ray box set. And a few years ago, they had an action figure line come out, but it came out when I was either in high school or college, and I didn't have disposable income to go, I like that one character. Let's get the whole team. So that was kind of off the table. But I like 70s and 80s anime a lot. I've been watching more Lupin the Third. Obviously, Dragon Ball Z starts in the 80s. It's the pen and ink style. It's whatever their art style was back then. There's a grittiness to it. It's just really cool animation, and I like it. I put on a newer show. Like I tried one episode of Dragon Ball Super. Couldn't really get into it because everybody looks weird and skinny. And yeah. Not feeling it. I'm kind of over Dragon Ball Z. I'm glad I didn't buy a bunch of action figures, Dion, because I would have been pissed off at myself. Seriously, bro. Damn. Like I would have been like, man, you wasted $200 on a Krillin. Fuck you. Like he's this tall.
Damn.
He's bigger than that Baby Yoda figure that's the size of my pinky nail. Yeah, folks, that's not a joke. That new Baby Yoda is this small. It's stupid. But John Thomas, thank you very much. Now, what other animes are you watching or have you watched from that era? John, I'll watch the regular chat to see what you have to say as well, but thank you. Gearstark says, I think the writers never got the birds and bees talk or they didn't pay attention to sex ed.
Well, you know, to them, it's probably a construct. And, you know, there are like, you know, 1,282 genders. So, you know, that's also the thing, too. Yeah.
Did it go down? Who got eliminated? Is
I got to go to the site and check you know how the elimination went. I think 2 got eliminated, and there's still a bunch of fighting in the bracket. So
what we need to get the guys from Cabin in the Woods. You know, is it still a gender? And then they point.
Oh my god!
Like, nope, it's not. Sorry,
Jeff. We need is a camera, a room, and like white shirts and black ties and a whiteboard. We can make that. We can make that skit. We can do that.
I'm writing that down now.
We can do that. And we just get a bunch of like ridiculous like reels and TikToks and just, you know, put them over it and make it a whole thing.
Let's do that for fun. Thank you, though, Gearstark. Enrique Vasquez, thank you for being a member for 16 months. I also want to thank Dr. Coffenhouse for being a member for 6 months, as well as Xavier to God and Trebles and everybody else who's been a member. We appreciate you guys. Enrique says, okay, so this is how the Terminegro is created. Dion watches Dark Fate so much that the force it creates, it forms man to show, so much that the force creates it in his form. Man, this show sucks. The Acolyte, not WCBS. Well, thank you, Enrique. I would hope that being a member for 16 months would not be to a show that you absolutely hate. Mm-hmm. But in all seriousness, man, I kind of like the idea, Dion, that the Terminegro is created from the trauma of Dark Fate. Well, we might be
no. Even better. He's watching it for like the 999th time, and it's going to go to 1,000. But then, like, a robotic copy of himself appears in his fucking room, in his living room. He's like, "Don't do this. You'll
come
regret
with me
it.
If you want to live." You're like,
"Come with me if you want better entertainment."
The fucking Blu-ray player.
Yeah. Put the disc down. Yeah, we're gonna be playing around with Terminegro. Don't worry. I draw all the time, folks. You know, Wokebusters is a done project, but I have my own way of drawing, so I was doing some fun with that. But maybe I'll start sketching out some Terminegro designs, and we'll have some fun with it. I've been bouncing around more Stealing Solo 2 ideas, even though the outline's essentially done. But folks, you'll be seeing a lot more from me. Wokebusters is almost here, so go to Kickstarter, get yourself a copy. If you got an Indiegogo, it'll be on its way to you with everybody else signed and numbered. So everybody's going to be taken care of because it's how we do it here. But thank you guys for everything. Cesario Japan, or Sejorjan as he's known around here, says, "Oh, cool, Jedi lesbians. It's not Ayla Sakura, Mara Jade, Bastilla Shan, or even Darth Palin in girl-on-girl action. Disney honey-dicked us."
Let's just call them Jedbians.
What?
Jedi lesbians, Jedbians. Oh, there you go.
Jedbians. Okay.
Plus, you can say that and the algorithm won't pick it up because it's not one of those naughty words that you're not allowed to say on the internet.
Yeah, because it's not a real word. I identify as a Jedbian. Okay. Mm-hmm. What is that? I'm a real big Beverly Hillbillies enthusiast. Yeah, I'm a Jedbian, bro. You're a Jedbian, right? No, man, I like Jethro. Well, fuck you. Anyway.
Oh my God. Just once again, go on a college campus and tell them that you're a Jedbian. They'll be like, okay, whatever you say. Sure. Yeah. That'll be added to the list.
I'm a Jedbian. You know, my pronouns are light and saber.
I'm gonna sing my song. I'm a Jedbian amphibian. I'm gonna identify as a fucking frog.
Well, I mean,
I had one of the Utes ask me the other day what are my preferred pronouns, and I said dude and bro. And the kid said those aren't actually pronouns. I was like, now you know how silly this whole thing is.
And Ken, I got one strike against him.
Nah, man, he got a raise.
Out here, no, I did not get any strikes against me. I'm sure.
Good.
It's because you're a Jedbian and you're safe. Enrique,
right. I'm a protected class now.
We need Jeff. There's a short idea. I'm a proud Jedbian.
Jedbian Knight.
I'm a proud Jedbian. Give it. Yeah, there you go.
My phone is like, did you mean Jezbian? No. Crap.
Oh, my God.
What is Jezbian?
Well, Jezebel's been shut down, so you can't be a Jezbian.
Oh, thanks, Hulk Hogan. You saved us.
Well, they kind of screwed themselves. You know, they had a bunch of articles they wanted to read.
That was illegal.
Well, our pal Enrique also says, to be fair, Iran and Afghanistan were very different before their revolutions, and it looked better before than now. Well, yes, definitely in Iran, because Khomeini came in and everything changed. I've actually watched a lot of videos about how Iran used to be prior to all of that.
Oh, yeah.
But what I mean is,
pictures of them in the 70s is wild.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like such a different place. You see all the people dressed a certain way and very modern hairstyles and this and that, and you're like, oh, okay, the world has changed. Enrique, what I meant though is like from World War I to World War II, like I guess it would be an era of prosperity for Star Wars. Never mind. But the thing is, George Lucas wanted to create this slick environment. All he really did is just have Coruscant and Naboo, because all the other stuff was grimy and dirty. So he should have just made those two planets feel unique and then make everything else feel like Star Wars. But he went on a weird science fiction tangent and, well, you know what? Let him do his thing. I don't give a shit. If people like those movies, more power to you. Adam Wofford, thank you very much. in like Rings of Power, it's like in Rings of Power, having saying the sea is always right is a play on Game of Thrones Fire and Blood from the House of the Dragon. Sea is always right. Hold on, I missed. Explain that to me, Dion.
I didn't finish Rings of Power because I was like, damn, this is boring. But no, it was, there's a saying, something like that in Games of Thrones, because, they established this thing that there are people who are on the boats all the time, seafaring and all that. And they had a saying, and it was similar to that. And it's just like, you could tell that Rings of Power was trying to capitalize on Games of Thrones in not so many subtle ways. So that was another thing that they kind of were haphazardly throwing in, like, hey, we're good too, guys.
I'm not going to watch Rings of Power. I watched about 5 minutes of it to see how the picture quality was on the TV, and that was it.
You used it to test your 4K TV, and that was it.
Dude, that's what I do with all new shows and shit from Netflix. Anything that's like their new one where they got Dolby Vision, I go, let's see how good this looks. And I'll watch 2 to 3 minutes after the credits roll, and then I'm like, all right, that's enough. Never keeps me hooked. It's not intentional either. It's always shit. I'm accepting of new movies. I'm accepting of new ideas. I'll watch anything once, but if it's pretty crappy, I'm not going to sit and watch it on streaming. That's kind of my rule.
That's accurate.
Let's see. Sherles White says I'll take a message and a pride horse for Dion. Well, while I'm getting the pride horse ready, you guys get a bonus one.
Put a chick in it. Make her gay.
I always love that button. Oh, we rarely get to press this one.
Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't.
Oh.
Now, I can only assume that pride horses means this one.
Hello, Dion.
Yeah, got him.
Curious there. I was like, when you said pride horses, I'm like, wait, do we have pride horses on here now? Are they like unicorns?
Yeah, I should have got unicorn buttons, but I just didn't think about it. I never think about unicorns. Do you?
No, but that would be a pride horse because, they run and they got rainbows. At least the ones on Red Dead, Undead Nightmare had that.
Dude, Red Dead Redemption is such a good series.
It is. I heard there's supposed to be a third one.
What do you do to top the second one, though? That's like an achievement. I'm not saying it's the greatest game I've ever played, because I never even finished it. That's how much I liked it. But it's an achievement in gaming. That thing is it's so immersive to just get lost in the Old West.
I know. I've had several of the Utes ask me, although not today because school ended yesterday, and because they're like, oh, you played Red Dead before? I'm like, dude, I had the original the day it came out when you were like 2. So let's not talk like you know more about this shit than I do.
Yeah.
And yeah, like that first game was just awesome. Undead Nightmare was one of the best DLCs ever because it was more to the game. They gave you a complete game, but then they gave you a whole nother game for like $20. It was awesome. And then Red Dead 2 comes out and it's even bigger and more involved than the previous one. It's like, what do you do with the third one? Because you told the story of John Marston. Then you told the story of Arthur Morgan with John Marston in it. That's like mind-blowing in the prequel because you're trying to save John. You're like, you'll save him because you play him in the first game. So it's like, what do you do with the third one? Do you play as Jack Marston? Well, you already kind of did that in the original Red Dead with the prologue. Or the epilogue. Whatever one comes at the end. Epilogue. So the epilogue, you play as him in the epilogue. So it's kind of like, do you just play as Jack Marston in the next game? But then you're also looking at like the 1920s at that point. So like, was there really a whole lot to the Old West, or do you want to go back even further? So like, I don't know. You could do a third one just because you get GTA in the Wild Wild West, which that never gets old. But then it's like at the same time, what do you do exactly?
Annie Oakley is going to be the lead of the next
Annie
game.
Oakley, you're not
Oh,
wrong.
yeah.
Goddamn.
Well, let's wait and see what Rockstar truly does with GTA 6, because we've already kind of have an idea of where they're going. Let's see if they actually follow through.
I don't have enough faith in humanity to believe that they're going to actually troll us and it's a big joke. They used to do that. You know, if you would have gotten me from 2008, I'd be like, oh, yeah, they're going to fucking get everybody with their jokes. We've seen them turn shit in GTA 4. They already went the serious approach. This isn't going to be anything new for Rockstar. They know how to suck fun out of their games real fast because they make them so realistic and they have some bullshit saccharine story. If you want to tell me that GTA 4 story moves you to tears, okay, I'm not going to make fun of you to your face, but when you're gone, I'm going to make fun of you because GTA 4 sucks, man. The cars drive like boats. And here's your button.
Yeah.
Message! Message! Message!
Yeah, some of the youths tried to shit on me the other day because I had to go to that field trip last weekend. So I took my Switch and I was playing Vice City. And one of the kids was asking me, like, what are you playing? I'm like, GTA 4. And they're like, that's not GTA 4. I'm like, oh shit, it's not GTA 4. There is a GTA 4. This is the fourth one that came out. But no, you're right. This isn't GTA 4. This is Vice City. It's totally different. It's not. And then I had to explain to them what that meant because they didn't know what Vice City or San Andreas was. I'm like, well, they're better than the
Wait,
games
you didn't know
you
San
have.
Andreas, the highest selling game on the PlayStation 2, the highest selling console of all time?
Well, no, because they only know about it on Xbox from the multiple iterations of GTA 5. And besides, the Switch sold 1 billion units on day of launch, Jeff. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Oh, man, we should have pulled that out on episode 400, man. I forgot about that one. There's a quintillion Nintendo Switches circulating around the planet right now. There aren't even that many.
I have
people.
one of them.
Dion's not going to buy any more of those Switches. He's like, fuck that. There could be 53 ones anymore in this goddamn house.
Well, the one thing I will say, you can drop your phone in the bathtub and it'll be okay. You cannot drop your Nintendo Switch in the bathtub. It will not be okay. And we've learned that through the trials and tribulations of one Dion Green.
Listen,
I hope they make the next Nintendo Switch. I hope the next one is even less durable. Like, so they really teach you a lesson. Like the new Switch is like, it's handheld, but man, if you start flailing it around, it's gonna just crack in half. Like that's gonna be the message. Like, don't fuck with your Nintendo because Nintendo will get you to buy new ones, and then parents will stop buying Nintendos.
I don't know. I think the handhelds that are made for the Steam games right now are really fucking powerful and actually worth your money.
Yeah, what's the Switch gonna do if other people can do your shit better now? Like, I can go get a Republica Gaming handheld and play anything on Xbox.
Yeah, and run Windows 360 on it, and get your Outlook emails going and everything. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Like a Palm Pilot for your back pocket.
If you're wearing Jinko jeans, and your back pocket will handle them.
Aren't you still? That's why I won't stand up on show tonight, folks, because I'm embarrassed of my Jinko jeans that are on right now. No, not gonna show them. Anyway, moving on. Adama, thank you for your very generous super chat. Hey guys, I think we're destined because most of our entertainment is run through a DEI filter. We're desensitized, excuse me. Hey guys, I think we're desensitized because most of our entertainment is run through a DEI filter. I think at this point we have to just watch older stuff. I just rewatched The Breakfast Club. It's still great. It's me, Austin. We'll get your button in just a moment, sir. Yeah, The Breakfast Club's great. 10 out of 10.
Mm-hmm. I actually watched it recently, and I was like, man, this is still like, it still hits. You still have the characters are really well done. They have, they do their whole they get high, they do their whole thing. You see them, in high school and everything with the detention. I mean, it's still a damn good movie. But like that's one of those movies that was made during that wonderful time in the '80s that just stands to the test of time.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think it'll probably go on into infinity. I think it's just one of those things that. Everybody's been to that stage in their life, and
kids today are still assholes in high school. So there you go.
There you go.
Kendo knows.
Oh, believe me, I know. I can name. I'm not going to, but I can name one kid that would fit every one of those fucking roles in that movie from kids in high school in 2024 because each of those is a stereotype of a certain segment of the population in the high school, yet that certain segment of the population in the high school 40 years later still completely fucking exists.
So
don't
Kendo,
change.
so Kendo's the new Mr. Vernon. That's who he is.
No, Kendo's actually the janitor. Secretly.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm the
Carl?
fucking cool one.
Yeah. I read
I
your
know all
letters.
your secrets.
Because the kids don't give me shit. Because number one, I can fire back at them with stuff that they can never come. Like their comebacks are terrible, and so I fucking haymaker them verbally all the time with flipping shit at them. And if they try to get something, I'm like, dude, 5-year-olds throw better shit at me than you do, and that usually stops them in their tracks. And two, like I don't know, just kids don't give me shit. They like me.
That's good. That's good.
Yes,
I'm a cool teacher. I'm
I'm
a cool teacher. It's like one of those, I won't fuck with you if you don't fuck with me. If you break the rules, then I'm going to fucking come after you. But most of the kids don't break the rules in my class. They just come in and either do what I ask them to do or they don't. And I don't give them shit if they don't. It's like, hey,
That's
you're the
why
one that has to take credit recovery, not me. I already graduated high school. I've done that.
It's over. Go home. Ferris Bueller is another classic I enjoy to watch as well.
Oh,
You couldn't.
that's a good one.
But the Breakfast Club has a lot of humanity to it, and that's why it still works. Today's movies are products. They're not.
Right.
And I don't want to try to wax intellectual like everything from back in the day was high art. I mean, we had movies about killer condoms and baskets that had little mutated people that jumped out and ate you, and toilet monsters. Like we have shit films.
Oh
We
yeah,
have
no,
so
that no,
many
there,
dumb
yeah,
things.
yeah.
But those were all original ideas, at least. And they stuck around because they were stupid. They caught your attention. They kept you entertained. They were something. Okay, not everything has to be The Godfather or Lord of the Rings or fucking Star Wars. You know, it can be lower quality shit. And
or Citizen Kane, or Citizen Kane.
is it wrong that I'm on a protest to never watch that? Like I'm boycotting myself.
That's fine.
I've never watched
I've
Citizen
never
Kane.
seen it either. I don't.
Leon, have you seen it?
A long time ago.
Fuck,
Maybe
I was
we
thinking our podcast would be the only internet podcast to have never humored Citizen Kane. But you,
Well, let's do it for a super
I watched it in
secret,
college.
watch along for Patreon.
what we'll
There
do
you
though,
go.
let's do a watch along where we're on camera to see who falls asleep first.
Okay.
It's gonna be you, or we're gonna get the famous. I'll be right back, guys, and like you never will.
No.
Mm,
My living setup's different. I'll just fall asleep on camera. But
Okay,
Oh,
all
it
right.
came out in
fair enough.
1941. It's not an anniversary
dear
movie because
God.
it came out in 1941, but it will be in 2 years. We can do the 85th. Would it be the 85th anniversary of Citizen Kane?
why not do the 83rd annual Citizen Kane watch party? They're like, what the
Oh my
fuck? You
God.
guys been doing this for 83
Yeah.
years now?
Hell
It's
yeah.
been 83 years.
The 83rd anniversary of Citizen Kane. So we do our 83rd annual Citizen Kane watch along and beat off. Where you have to beat off sleep because it's going to put us to sleep.
Oh,
See?
okay,
There
all
you
right,
go.
all right. I didn't like.
Thank you for finishing your thought.
Yeah.
You know what's gonna, Nick, you're like joking about me falling asleep. You know what's gonna happen to me is I'm gonna sit there and go, oh man, this is really a good movie. Fuck, I can't make fun of this. This is great.
Jessica be like, God damn it, this is a treasure of cinema.
Fuck, I gotta get it on 4K now because it's really good. Oh no, at least
Oh,
ET
my
sucked, dickhole.
It lives
yeah,
up to the hype.
At Adama, I watch old stuff all the time. I celebrate it. Beverly Hills Cop 1 and 2, they were out before I was ever born. Still watch them all the time like they're brand new movies to me. Same with Back to the Future. Celebrate it. Got all kinds
Oh,
of
God,
shit. Hill Valley, yes, hoverboard.
Fuck, dude,
All
I was watching
before I was
Marx
ever born.
Brothers movies the other day.
Good shit.
Yeah,
Duck Soup.
I sent you.
It is.
God, I sent you the link for the Three Stooges Blu-ray. That
Yes, you
Amazon
did.
came out with.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
I've
a
got,
thing.
I've got I've got Three Stooges on videotape that was recorded off of KPLR TV channel 11 in
Oh my
1988.
God.
Thanks, Grandpa. That one's for you. I've got the Three Stooges on tape. I've got them on DVD. I've got the color DVDs where they, African Americanized it,
Thank
and
you.
so you could get the original version or the colored American version, and it's great. I might buy it on Blu-ray. Fuck, dude, I watch all shit. Dude, look, old shit all the time. Laurel and Hardy, Marx Brothers,
God,
Three
yeah.
Stooges. That shit's on rotation. I'll just like fucking randomly pull shit out and just watch those things. Like the other day, I watched Duck Soup and Night at the Opera because I was bored and I've got the DVD. I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna watch the Marx Brothers because they are actually funny.
100%, man. The old stuff is good. I remember watching during the pandemic. I watched Taxi, like all 5 seasons of it. It was fucking amazing. Such a good show.
That is a great show.
Great show.
Dion, is that stuffed crust?
Sadly, no. It's
Then we
just
can't be friends.
bar pizza. Not my
Bruce
fault.
can't
What
be-
Diane brought back. Not my fault.
Just lie next time. Yeah, it's stuffed crust from Hungry Howie's. The
There you
old
go.
stuff. Thing is, the old stuff is going to be better because we have finally hit a wall. Before generational, it was always you're older, it's this, it's that. We now just remake the shit that was good not that long ago, and it all sucks. So that's why you can absolutely say the old stuff is better at this point, because that's all the original stuff. We have reboots, remakes ad nauseum. How many times are they going to relaunch some of this shit? Too many times.
Yep.
One is enough. A great movie lasts forever. You do not need to remake. Well, Vacation's not technically a remake; it's a sequel. But you already had Clark Griswold. Put that movie out in theaters for an anniversary. People will go see it. They'll laugh. They'll remember it. They'll buy the disc. They'll put it on. They'll remember the good times, and they'll just keep on watching it. That's the beauty of a good film. If you put this overly complex 55 movie universe spanning 27 generations, 12 universes, and something else on top of that shit, you're going to get people lost because everything is interconnected to the point where you got to sit and know this and that. And these movies don't stand up. You can't just put it on and go, wow, that was a great experience. And boom, that's it. They don't make them like they used to. And well, thankfully we have the old ones for now. By the way, Nick, yes.
If they made a universe where all my favorite movies were in the same universe, I'd never leave the house.
So
that's called Ready Player One. That's what that's called.
Yep.
Guess he's not leaving the house tomorrow.
No, I am. We're going to Colorado.
Shit.
Ooh, have fun.
Yeah.
We had fun in Colorado, Dion, for Jake's wedding.
Yes, we did.
I was so drunk. Anyway, yeah, button time.
Who's that Pokemon? Who's that Pokemon?
It's me, Austin! Oh, son of a bitch!
He might be going to prison.
Yep.
Who, JR?
No.
Vince McMahon.
Really?
Tell me more.
shit.
I didn't hear about this.
So you know
FBI.
how he's got that? Yeah, the FBI's look. So he had that lawsuit where the girl said that, oh, he shit on my head, and he was abusive, and I'm going to sue his ass. The FBI has essentially had her put her lawsuit on hold because they're investigating him, and they want all that evidence and discovery to be able to use that first.
Oh, what?
They would
Do
rather
we have
it
any
not
idea what the FBI knows, or what's public?
Fuck, dude. Well, what's public is the stuff we already know about. What's not public is the stuff we don't know about. And they could be all sorts of case files from, that fun bunch at the FBI. As much of a clown car show that place is.
Well, what I mean is, what do you think Vince is being investigated for? Let's just break it down like that. Like, just take a guess.
Dude, I mean, your guess is as good as mine. I know, just all the naughty things that were already talked about with him in the lawsuit that I won't, say that out loud on the channel because of the fact that I don't want us to get struck because we're talking about somebody else and certain types of traffic stuff that's going on.
Yeah, I hate sitting in my car for hours. It's just so annoying.
Yeah, me too. But there's that. So
that's what I thought it was going to be, honestly, because come on. I mean, that's when it gets serious at that level.
Well, I mean, also, if you think about it, what crimes do you really commit? He used potentially company funds to pay hush money, which technically you're not supposed to do. But then the big shit is the stuff that came out in the lawsuit about he was forcing me to do things with other people that were on the company roster and stuff like that. I think that's what they might be going after, but who knows? We'll see.
We'll find out, folks. We'll definitely talk about it. So Georgian says, happy belated Marvin Heemeyer / Killdozer Day.
Oh my God. Do you know about the Killdozer?
No.
Are you? Oh my! You have no idea what the Killdozer is. And
I know what the Bulldozer is.
No. This is a really ridiculous story.
Touchdown champion in Arlen High School, actually Texas.
Kendo, do you know the Killdozer story?
I've heard Beavis
Is
and
this-
Butthead refer to the Killdozer before, but
This isn't from Maximum Overdrive, is it?
No, it's a real thing that happened. Okay, I'll give you like the TLDR version. Marvin John.
I do know this one. Read it
Okay,
anyway.
American Auto Muffler Shop demolished numerous buildings with a modified bulldozer in Granby, Colorado, in 2004. He had various grievances against the town officials, neighbors of his muffler shop, and the local press, and he said, "Fuck it," and he bought a bulldozer. He bought a bulldozer. Put concrete and steel on it so nobody could shoot inside, locked himself in, and then went throughout the entire town destroying shit.
nice.
And then he self-deleted inside the Killdozer.
Nice. We had a guy sort of like that in 2008 that was down the street from my uncle's shop that I was working at. He didn't use a Killdozer, though. He was just mad at the local government and shot up town hall during a town hall meeting.
Yeah, but there was...
Needless to say, leaving town that night was very, very difficult.
Jeez. But yeah, there's like helicopter footage of this going down. Like he destroyed a lot of stuff in that town.
I've seen those videos. Once you started talking, I was like, oh yeah, because it's like an isometric view from a helicopter. He's just going down the street.
Yeah, but it was one of those things where it's like, you know, the local government pushed the and like mind you, he just owned a muffler shop. He was trying to do his own thing, his own business, and they kept screwing with him, and then he didn't like it anymore.
It's like a video I watched the other day talking about falling down. It says, you know, be nice to people because you don't realize who's having a bad day and what kind of bad day they're actually having.
It's true.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's a good movie. I can't believe Joel Schumacher made that movie.
I know. It's weird, isn't it?
I can't
look at Joel Schumacher film.
Dude, The Lost Boys is a great movie. That's his movie too. Like, and I will stand by that. Is an awesome movie. Just flat out. That's one of the perfect movies to watch over the summer. I'd say if you're going to have like a double feature, Vacation, Lost Boys, if you're going to just do movies all day, would you throw Goonies as a summer movie since it takes place during the school year? Because like, I just always watched it as a kid, like late at night. Like I would stay up to watch it. But yeah, it's a different one. You're right.
Oh, no. Sandlot, right? Sandlot you could do.
Sandlot's a summer movie.
Yeah, there you go. Do Sandlot.
Is it wrong if I don't really like The Sandlot? I mean, it's a fine movie.
No.
I just don't have like, it's not the Goonies to me where I go, oh my God, I gotta watch it.
No, it's fine. I mean, I understand that they were trying to emulate that. They were trying to emulate Goonies, Explorers, and Monster Squad.
The Sandlot was Goonies for kids that played baseball. So me.
There you go.
That's why I love The Sandlot. Fine, Jeff. You're just the exception to the rule. God damn.
It's so melodramatic.
The Sandlot?
Yeah, I love it, but I get like lots of people are just like, yeah, I mean, yeah, it is a very dramatic movie, especially the ending.
So
it's a great ending, but you're like, damn, trying to hit me in the feels on purpose with that one, huh?
I mean, you could okay. Instead of Sandlot, you could do Stand by Me. You could do that.
See, that's where the ending loses me, though.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
oh yeah,
no, I'm talking about the Sandlot. So Sandlot takes place in 1962, and then we like fast forward. Who knows how many years to like present day, and we're supposed to believe that Benny the Jet Rodriguez is like 40-something years old stealing bases while fucking Sergeant Cowboy is the goddamn guy in the booth, which
who looks old as shit.
Yeah, it's like, okay, so Arliss Howard is in this movie. I get that, but you know, they fast forward you 30 years. It's like the dude was like 12 or 13 in the movie. He's not 42 or 43 playing baseball, because in the early 90s that was unheard of unless you were Phil Necro for some reason. But I don't know. That's the part where that's where my suspension of disbelief goes away, is when I'm supposed to be fast forwarded 30 years into the future, where Benny the Jet Rodriguez is fucking stealing third base like his name's Ricky Henderson. It's like, nah, it doesn't work that way there, bro.
He's in his 40s making, you know, player of the year type plays. Like, that's just not real. But you know, it's very dramatic. I chuckle every time it gets to that part in the movie. Like, all right, definitely isn't 30 years in the future.
No. It wouldn't have been 20 years in the future, because that would have made him like 35.
What happened?
That shit.
What'd I do?
They're making more Watchmen, a 2-part movie event.
Yeah,
it's an animated
Hillary
movie.
told me about that. Yeah, animated.
Stupid as shit.
Yep.
Sorry,
I mean,
the link. I'm like, oh,
yeah, that's
WB for you, baby. They like money.
But yeah,
I do. Come on.
Well, I mean, that's Hollywood for you. I mean, look at the movies from this year. We had Kingdom Planet of the Apes. It's a continuation of that. We had The Strangers Chapter 1, which we didn't need. Furiosa didn't matter. The Garfield movie, why we needed that, I don't know. Bad Boys, Ride or Die, In and Out 2, A Quiet Place Day 1, Despicable Me 4. What is it? Twisters, didn't need that.
Nope.
Deadpool,
Dude, I saw
Wolverine.
Twister the other night. That movie sucks.
Yeah, I never got the appeal of it.
I disagree. I watched it recently and I really liked it because I was like, and also you have a bunch of things happening in that movie that somehow they're able to do very well. Like they have a bunch of storylines that are happening all at once, and you're able to like keep it going. I was actually really impressed.
So the movie is silly as hell, but dude,
it was silly as hell.
It is a 90s movie turned up to 11.
Who directed that?
Okay, so I'll give you that.
Yeah, you just gotta look at it as a 90s movie. Was it Jerry Bruckheimer?
No, Lee Isaac Chung.
Oh,
him. So
yeah, he always
wait. No. That's the fucking old. That's the new one. Sorry. Hold on. Google doesn't know the difference. My bad. John Day Bonet.
Oh, him.
Oh, Jan de Bont.
Jan de Bont, whatever.
That was my second guess, but I'm like, wait, he's a lighting guy on some movies. Is that the one Jan de Bont directed? Yes.
Twister does have a lot of big names in it, though. I'll give it that. Because like I watched it when it first came out. We rented it on tape, and then I maybe saw it in passing a couple times since then. But the other night, I'm in the hotel, and Ghostbusters is coming on the Sci-Fi Channel at 9:30. So I'm like, fuck yes, I want to watch Ghostbusters, but it's only 10 after 9. So I got to watch the last 20 minutes of fucking Twister. And I'm like, I'll turn this shit on.
It's okay.
And okay, Bill Paxton's fine. Helen Hunt's fine. Carrie Elwes is in that movie, I think. He's fine until he gets fucking blown up in his truck.
Yep.
And there's a bunch of other people in it. But then like it gets to the end and they're like using like fucking leather straps to tie themselves to fucking pipes to save themselves.
Yes.
And they can look up in the tornado and see all the way through the top of it. I'm like, fuck this movie. Okay, just put Ghostbusters on, please.
I will give you that. Like it is like in that whole thing, especially in the beginning when like it's a little girl in the family, and then I think it's Helen Hunt as a child, and she does a thing. It's like you've never seen a tornado go past one house.
You gotta look at what's right in front of you, Joe.
that whole couple fight they have as like Dorothy 3 like goes down. I was like, okay, we don't need this. Like hurry this up or don't have it. It was so fucking weird. And then like his wife, the therapist, like who's just there, has no idea what's going on, is like so confused and so rattled the whole time.
Remember, Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt communicate in the movie because he's trying to get her to sign divorce papers.
Yeah, I know.
That's the premise. Welcome to the 90s.
and the funny thing is, like, there were a lot of disaster movie made for TV movies like after that or during that time as well.
Oh yeah, it started a whole thing, man.
I think even Devon Sawa did a made for TV tornado movie that same year. Or was it? Yeah, maybe 96.
Fucking Tiger Beat to the max. He would? Yeah, because he was. I'm trying. That's high school, so like Devon Sawa, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, all these fucking kids, and the Jonathan Brandis kid, rip. They were all over the fucking Tiger Beat.
Yeah, he did. Okay, he did Night of the Twisters in '96 as well.
Damn. So yeah, he would have been a kid in that movie then, like or a teenager.
Yeah, thriller about a series of destructive tornadoes and the people who work together to save the community and their.
He would do Final Destination. 3 years later?
Let me.
Is that 99 or 2000?
Yeah.
Are we talking about Devon Sawa?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he also okay. He did Idle Hands first, and then Final Destination.
Yes, we are talking about Devon Sawa, brother. Are we talking about Devon Sawa? Hell yeah, we are, brother.
Random.
Devon Sawa's name's been mentioned the most ever, probably since 2002 in the last 5 minutes on this show.
No, I follow him on Instagram. He makes C movies all the time.
Well, that's nice.
Like underwater pictures, like Thunderball.
Oh my god, Jesus!
Technically, we can make C-list movies all the time too if we really had the time.
Oh God, him and Casper Van Dien like do all kinds of fucking like asylum shit. I'm sure.
Yeah, dude, fucking Casper Van Dien. Casper Van Dien was Johnny Cage, and when Machinima did Mortal Kombat, he was Johnny Cage. That was like the biggest thing he had done in fucking 20 years.
Yeah,
at that point, and that was 10 years ago.
Yeah,
ouch.
Yeah, Devin Sawa had an interesting career for sure.
Devin freaking Sawa, man.
Well, we'll have the Devin Sawa podcast next week, folks. You can join us on the show. We talk about Idle Hands, Final Destination, and
Little Giants.
Little
That's
Giants.
right, isn't it?
SLC
Wild
Punk.
America.
Slackers.
Yep. Because he is in Slackers. I forget about that.
Casper. Also Casper. We did before.
Casper. Wild America, right? Wasn't he the brother in Wild America?
I think so. Yep. Yeah, he was a brother in Wild America. He was in '97. Yep.
Dude, the Casper movie was way more popular than I realized. Dion, when we were drunk and watching that at your house, I was like, "Holy shit!" I forgot I used to watch this movie a lot as a kid. I remember.
Dude. No, it was. Yeah, it was, and it also makes a Ghostbuster reference.
So here we go.
Who you gonna call? Somebody else.
So Jeff, here we go.
Yeah.
Devin Sawa made his film debut 30 years ago in Little Giants. So we're wanting to do the whole anniversary things. That's anniversary date for that is October 14th. That'll be turning 30. Devin Sawa turned 45 this last September. So in September, we could make September is Sawa and just do an entire fucking ode to Devin Sawa. The Tiger Beat kid we hated, but he's fine now.
I will do this if we can get the actual guy to show up for the show. That's what we'll do. Let's call him up.
Listen. Well, here's what
I feel like we can pull that off.
I do too.
We need to tag him a couple times from now until then, and maybe he'll show up.
Hey, Devin, what's up, brother? Big fans, love your work. I want to celebrate you all month long. Would you join us in a celebration?
Turns out we're actually fans of you. We love.
It's legitimately
Idle Hands, Final Destination, Slackers. He was an SLC Punk, which
that's a good one.
So maybe that's what we should do. We should do September is Sawa month in honor of his 46th birthday, and see if we can just fucking pull him in. Dude, he was Flash Thompson on Spider-Man the new animated series.
Oh, that's good. But no, we should tweet at him and see if ask him which movie he'd want to do. I hope it's Final Destination or Idle Hands.
I hope it's Little Giants.
Me too. Little Giants would be great. That would be great. Hearing all the ridiculous stories about him being in that movie, that'd be great.
Like the icebox. Come on, level. What she?
Oh my god, the icebox! Holy shit!
Yep.
Oh my god.
There you go, folks. September is Sawa here on World Class Bullshit.
That's right. September
all joking aside, folks. This August, we will have Alien Month here on the channel. We had discussed this via our video chat or whatever we do on our phones. So be on the lookout because we are going to. Was it Alien Tabernacle? No. What's the new one called?
Rhombus.
Tabernacle would be totally interesting where they fucking take over Salt Lake City. I'd watch that.
Alien Romulus.
Oh, got
That's
it.
Right.
Yeah,
Kendo, I want to watch our movie now
August.
more.
Yeah, it comes out in August. Hooray. I can't wait for diversity alien movie. Hooray.
Look, it's a celebration. It's an excuse for us to get drunk and watch Alien 1 and Aliens. Okay?
That's fair.
It'll be a double feature night.
I'm okay with that.
If you guys really want to watch an alien movie and during September or August and watch me get very upset, we can watch The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh my god.
Never seen it.
Listen, we pissed you off and made you mad once. I mean, there's no need to do it again. We made you watch the Rob Zombie Halloween movies, okay? So I think
yeah, see, here's the thing. All right, so the Rob Zombie Halloween movies, one, that was a self-inflicted wound, and two, that was me getting pissed off at cinema for cinema's sake, specifically the storytelling around the Halloween franchise.
Yeah.
This would be akin to me getting pissed off at the Michael Bay Ninja Turtle movies for the fact that they completely just fucked things up. Like, I had to be physically restrained during The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I went and saw it the night that it came out in theaters. Huge fan. Fucking love the book. I've got it both versions, the hardcover with the really fun one and the hardcover that looks like the Bibble. I've got the fucking DVD set of the TV show. I've got the fucking box set of the CDs of the entire fucking radio broadcast and everything like that. I love me some Hitchhiker's Guide. I went and saw that movie the night it came out, and I had to be physically restrained and dragged from that movie theater. I would have been escorted off the premises from very angry looking security people because I had issues with that movie that will never die.
And you care to elaborate, Kendo? Because I'd love to hear at least one.
So at the very end of the movie, Arthur returns to Earth and he marries the chick whose name suddenly fucking escapes me. Fucking Zaphod Beeblebrox's girlfriend. The girl from Earth. Fuck, what's her name? Anyway, he returned. She's played by Zooey Deschanel in that movie. And if I don't look this up, I'm going to want to punch myself in the face because I should know this by now. Trillian. He comes back to Earth with Trillian. I didn't even have to look it up. It hit me. And they come down to Earth and it's all like been brought back to life. And they're all so happy and they've got a life together. That never fucking happens in any of the books, even though technically Arthur does father Trillian's child, but that's because he was trying to make money and he was donating stuff. So let's not forget that movie made me very upset. I fucking lost my mind at that movie. Now I'm pissed and I don't want to talk about it anymore.
That's fair enough. By the way, we are following Devin Sawa on Twitter now. So there's that. So
well,
Jeff,
my year just got better, Nick.
Well, yeah. So if you want to message him, Jeff, you know, it's all you, buddy.
I gotta know what I'm gonna say to Devin Sawa now. I'm so excited. Oh,
you're like a girl, you know, opening up the teen magazine back in the 90s.
Nah, man, that ain't Jonathan Taylor Thomas. You know what would have been a great picture, Dion? 6-year-old me with like 15-year-old Jonathan Taylor Thomas, because I'd have been like 2 feet taller than that dude. It would have been hilarious.
You still are. He's only like 5'7".
Jeez.
But the visual of a child being taller than him would have just been really funny to me. But yeah, I want to meet Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Just stand next to him and be like, hey, actually, I don't want to meet him at all.
I'd be like, hey, I remember when you supposedly had cancer on Tool Time, and my friend and I really wanted your character to die.
Yeah, fuck you, Randy.
Damn.
For no reason, just, hey, his sister was in love with him, and that's all we fucking heard about. So when Randy Taylor possibly could have had fucking a tumor, we were like, I hope he dies. Just because it'll piss her off.
Jeez.
Well, the 90s were a special time, folks. You hated everybody that was in Tiger Beat.
Well, and back then, if you really had a movie, you had to like find the address for the place and then write a fucking letter by hand and then mail it to them. You couldn't just get on some message board and, you know, put up bullshit.
Yeah,
or review on a movie, you know, things like that.
So let's talk about some more stuff tonight, shall we, folks? By the way, thank you to Joseph Bienowicz. We'll be reading all your messages tonight, folks. Keep on sending. We'll get to them after our next segment. Just showing my support. Hail to all. Well, hail to you, Joseph Bienowicz. Thank you for all that you do for the channel. For being a member for 16 months, for sharing the chat, sharing the links in the chat, for being an awesome mod, and a whole lot more. Joseph Bienowicz, folks, may be a member for 16 months, but he's been a fan of the channel since the beginning, pretty much. So thanks, man. We appreciate you. So, where did the show notes go? Because I swear we were talking about more than just the Acolyte. Oh, yeah. So, guys, Blade lost his director. I know we're so sad that this Blade film that none of us wanted has lost the director.
I feel like Blade is cursed.
Yeah.
To walk in the daylight with the powers of a vampire and none of their weaknesses except for the thirst.
Now I just want to watch that one again.
Well, see, like whenever I think vampires now, I think What We Do in the Shadows, and that show is fucking awesome. I love that show so much.
That's a great show.
It is hilarious as shit.
I like the lead actor.
Well, it's one of the things like, it's the best thing that director ever did, and that we ever will do. I swear. Taika Waititi, it's the best thing he ever put together. That's it.
Yep, agreed.
Yeah.
So, Dion, Which is your favorite
Yes.
Blade movie again?
2.
Nick?
2. It's got to be 2.
Kendo?
Kendo, are you there, buddy?
2. He said 2. I heard him say 2.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, dude. It's.
I like
can't
the
believe
first
that-
one the best.
I get it. First one's awesome.
Blade 2.
There you go.
With the new
Somehow-
headphones, I could hear you guys asking me this question while I was down the hallway in the refrigerator. I'm like, fuck. It's 2. It's 2. It's 2.
He said 2.
Yeah, see, I sent that message to Dion. I'm like, I held my temples and I was like, Dion, say my favorite Blade is
That's
2.
right. So 2.
Like Professor X up in this bitch. I like it.
Yeah.
Right.
But
W-
Kendo can walk. That's the important thing. Kendo can walk.
Right.
Kendo,
Right.
When we hang
think
out
still
this
works.
summer, bring a lead pipe. We'll change that. Just Kendo rolls out in the fucking
Oh my
ninja.
See, I don't feel too good about that one. I mean, if you're gonna fucking cripple me, at least use your own fucking lead pipe. Don't make me bring my own.
Oh, we weren't gonna cripple you. We were just gonna break your leg so you could.
Yeah,
be
dude,
authentic in all the
it's-
photos. I wasn't gonna ruin your life. If you're weak.
It's a
You
psychological
Dude,
thing.
you
man.
could have
It's
just
fine.
said, like, dude, Kendall, will you shave your head and sit in a wheelchair? I would have said yes. As
Kendo,
opposed
will you
to
shave your head and sit in a wheelchair?
if it means not getting my fucking legs broken with a lead pipe, yes.
Hey, would you do it? Because you won't.
Because I mean, fucking the hair grows back, and I can get up and walk out of the chair.
Okay.
But if my legs get broke, I'm fucked for like 6 to 8 weeks.
Now, the Blade movie lost its director. None of us are surprised. None of us really care. We've all heard about the earlier version of the film that was where Blade was like a fourth tier character, and everything was essentially a like a social commentary on 2022 or 3's politics. No one gave a shit. This movie's doomed, and I would not make it. If I were Disney, and I'm glad to not be anymore, my whole life actually, I would not make this film, and I wouldn't push for it. Blade was a perfect movie of its time. Not a perfect film, but it was the perfect movie for its time, meaning it came out, it did what it needed to do, it changed the comic book game, it helped Marvel get on the map in a way that it had never done before, and it should just stay there. There's nothing left to do with Blade. Blade had the whole franchise treatment all those years ago. There was a trilogy of films, a series of video games, there were toys, the soundtrack sold crazy amounts, there were comic books, there were shirts, there was a show. Blade had it all. Blade also had his time, and it's time to move past it. There are great black superheroes that aren't Blade. Blade is done. I don't think there's anything to do with him anymore. It was cool. It's awesome. We should still watch those movies and kind of just go, that's Blade. I don't really need to see a lesser version because that's all it's going to be is a lesser version. Like was George R.R. Martin said the other day when they're talking about the movies from books, when they do these remakes, it's like the same thing. They never improve upon it. Give me a remake that goes hard in the paint to the point where you're like, man, fuck the original. It's very rare, and you got to pick something obscure most times.
Yeah, that was awfully nice of George R.R. Martin to say that. Did his fat ass say anything about fucking I'm typing the shit out of some fucking books because it's been like 12 years since the last one came out, and maybe I need to finish the saga to make up for the fact that HBO fucked it up?
Maybe he secretly wrote the ending of the show, and he's just like, well, I'm never going to put the book out now.
Well, I would like to think that he would. Okay. I would like to think that I know we're sidetracking from Blade. I'll make this quick. I would like to think that George R.R. Martin and all the fucking work he put into those other books and how fucking meticulously detailed he was, he wouldn't allow King Hot Wheels to be fucking elected to his office. Talk about a guy in a wheelchair getting fucking shit. They voted in their king.
Look, I gotta catch up on Game of Thrones. I'm late to the
No,
party.
you don't. You don't. No, you don't. The last
Okay.
season fucking blows chunks. Just accept it.
I was aware of that.
Oh my god.
Once they got off their fucking written source material, those two chuckle fucks were just like running around like chickens with their head cut off, just throwing darts at a board to fucking storylines.
Well, then let me rephrase it. I was over Phil's. We watched the episode where Joffrey got poisoned. I was kind of into it.
Oh yeah, but that's in the book. That's totally cool because like that was like part of the fucking story. Joffrey gets poisoned at his own wedding. It's great.
I wanted to chant like a wrestling fan. You deserve it.
Yeah.
He 100% did. Yeah.
I don't
He
know,
was
man.
even a bigger douchebag in the books.
I wish HBO would get the series of John dies at the end and make those books into a show, because
the movie wasn't that great.
Well, here's the thing: they did as much as they could with the movie, and I've actually read all of that series, and along with his other series, and he has another one coming out in September. I fucking love that writer. He writes his stuff is so much fun. I wish they'd give him. I wish they'd give somebody the money to make the show version of his books, because imagine Supernatural, but those brothers are constantly taking hallucinogens, and they see things that are actually there in real life and nobody else can, and and everything they do has to do with like some interdimensional fucking creature that just happens, and time travel and things. And every now and again, a government entity comes in that we don't know who is, and they just neuralize everybody, and everything goes back to normal at the end of the series. And it's like, okay, things are good for about 6 weeks, and then they go crazy again. So even the town that these kids are in is called Undisclosed in the book. It's never said the name. It's just called Undisclosed.
It's Springfield. Don't lie.
It probably is. But no, because I remember watching the movie and I was like, oh, it's a book, and I read the book and I was like, this is fucking hilarious. This is great. And I read the other 3 after that, and they're wonderful. But I wish, I really wish that guy would get a series either for that or his other series. What is it? Futuristic Violence and Fancy Suits. That's a fun one as well. But he had
great name.
That one's interesting because you have this girl who grew up in a trailer park whose dad is a billionaire in this town in Utah called Tabula Rasa. It's basically if you take Vegas and turn it up to 11, that's what it is. And it's also very it's like a cyberpunk city in Utah that just
you sold me
lawless.
on cyberpunk.
It's very lawless. And this girl's dad, who she thought was nobody, who's a billionaire, dies all of a sudden, and then in his will the money goes to her, and she has to take over this $1 billion company and make it not so bad over the next few months. And it's just those books, and it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy that story because you have the cyberpunk element and the technology, and she's trying not to fuck up and also not die. So it's fun stuff, man.
Send me a link to this stuff.
I'll send you the audiobook links, man. I like these are the ones I will listen to on repeat. They're so much fun.
I got credits that are going to expire, so I need to get something. Now, Dion, I need to get your anger up because, well, we're going to read something, and I know it's going to piss you off. You ready?
Yep.
Folks, are you ready to see Dion get angry?
Of course.
Okay, this is good. So, the good friends, well, they're not our friends. Let's take that back. The people at IGN have put out a list. The top 10 buddy cop films of all time. I think this list is the worst IGN list in the history of all IGN lists.
That's saying an awful lot.
Yeah, this is a piece of shit. It's fucking dumb. But let's start. So, hey, Dion, this is a top 10 list. We're going to start at number 10. The 10th best. Not the best, just the 10th best. Number 1. Lethal Weapon.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Number 10.
Wait, so number 10 is Lethal Weapon?
Wow.
Lethal Weapon 1, 2, and...
Oh, it doesn't get any better. I'm looking at the list right now.
Lethal Weapon 1, 2, and possibly 3 should occupy like the top 6.
Yeah.
Listen, Lethal Weapon 1 through 4 should be the top 6. Like that's
I'll give you that too, because I'm 100% on board with all of those movies.
Yeah, I'm going to put one on later. So number 10 was Lethal Weapon. Number 9, Freebie and the Bean from 1974. Never heard of it.
Sorry, what?
That's better than Riggs and Murtaugh. Get the fuck out of here.
Well, here you go. Number 8, Memories of Murder from 2003, directed by Bong Joon-ho.
Get out of here, dude.
I think I smoked that. I'm not sure.
I'm sorry, but I'm pretty sure before this list was started, they took a cup, shoved it into their ass, farted in it, and then huffed it. Then they started to write the list.
I think you're right. Once again, journalism and the movie industry needs more cocaine. I'm an advocate for that.
This is like a Cuck and McNeese type of artsy fartsy list here.
It gets shittier, guys. According to this list, what is a better buddy cop film than Lethal Weapon?
What?
Number 7, The Last Action Hero.
No,
there are better buddy cops than Briggs and Murtaugh. Get the fuck out of here.
No.
I love The Last Action Hero.
You love this next movie too, Dion, but you'll be pissed where it is. Number 6, 48 Hours.
Wow.
It's better than Lethal Weapon.
Listen, I mean, if you're ranking buddy cops, it being one of the first, movies, I can see that, but it's number 6. Okay.
Are they really? I technically though, it's not a buddy cop movie technically because Reggie Hammond's a prisoner.
Yeah.
Right. But they're partners.
Well, yeah, and neither is Last Action Hero because it's just some kid who finds a fucking magical ticket.
Correct.
Yeah. Well, even then, the captain in Last Action Hero says he's your new partner. I guess part of the movie. So the captain does technically say it.
Pretty much. Okay. So the top 6 should be the 2 Beverly Hills Cop movies and the 4 Lethal Weapon movies. That should be your top 6 right there.
I mean,
there's no Beverly Hills Cop on this list.
Okay, well, this list is completely garbage.
Yeah, because number 5 is Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
Yeah, get out of here, dog.
Okay, look, I love Roger Rabbit, but I would never even consider that a buddy cop movie.
That would maybe be number 10, maybe.
But yeah, and if you said this is a buddy cop movie, where would you put it? I'm like, not in the top 10 because I just named 6 that are better than that, so it's never going to get past 7, and I can always probably find other buddy cop movies that would work better. I mean, you could count Die Hard 1 and 2 because McClane works with what's his name?
Al Pal.
Yeah, Al Pal. That could be technically a buddy cop. Because even in the second one, Al Pal only shows up in the one part where he sends that shit out there. So call it a buddy cop. Okay, so now you got your top 8 that's better than Roger Rabbit and the other fucking things they listed here, besides Lethal Weapon, because that's on the list already.
Here we go with the last few. Number 4, Turner and Hooch.
Wow, okay, number 4. Get out of here.
It's not number 4, but I'll give you top 10. You could put it like 9 to 10.
It'd be 9th or 10th. Yeah, it's not top. That's crazy.
Number 3, Hot Fuzz. I love Hot Fuzz.
Okay,
I think it's great.
I'll give you Hot Fuzz.
Should be on this list
but it's
somewhere.
Not the top 3. Yeah.
Yeah, but it should be closer to the bottom. I think maybe
6th or 7th.
Yeah, 6 or 7 for sure. Yeah.
Right above Kindergarten Cop.
Because we're all kind of ranking this on the same buddy cop system where we're not necessarily saying it's I think Hot Fuzz is a better movie than most of the movies on this list. But if we're going buddy cop movie, I would put Lethal Weapon as number 1, even though I think Hot Fuzz is
because you have the typical beginning for a buddy cop. Like they meet, they hate each other, and then they grow to respect each other. Like you have that happening in the first movie.
Yeah,
that's what you want.
Yeah.
Number 2 is Hard Luck. Never heard of that.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, I never heard of that.
Sorry, Pure Luck.
Pure Luck. Oh, it's Martin Short and Denny Glover from '91. Never seen it. Don't know what the hell this is.
No, and those are 2 guys that I like to watch do movies.
Yeah. So oh god. It's nowhere.
And then number 1 is Bad Boys.
No.
I mean, Bad Boys is on the list, but they're not number 1.
No, they're on the list in like 8th or 9th.
I'd give them 6 or 7.
Hey,
yeah,
Dion.
They'd be mid or higher for sure.
Now, Beverly Hills Cop not be on this list is whatever, but would Blue Streak technically be a buddy cop movie?
Yes.
Yeah, technically. Yeah.
Blue Streak?
That's
Really?
my top 10 then.
Martin Lawrence Blue Streak?
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
federale. When he and Luke Wilson and William Forsythe and all those guys are cops, they're buddies, right? Miles Logan's just a criminal.
But he's, I don't know. It's one of those things where like he's, I don't know, because it's almost the same thing as 48 Hours. Then it's you're kind of dealing with that dynamic. Like 48 Hours, if you consider 48 Hours
Well,
a
he's
buddy cop
pretending to be
movie.
a cop.
Yeah, but he's also a criminal who like has faked his credentials to be a cop. Yeah, but then once again, it's like 48 Hours. It's that dynamic kind of.
I think 48 Hours counts as a buddy cop movie.
No, I'm not saying it doesn't, but like you're dealing with that kind of like vague.
Right.
Rush Hour is a buddy cop movie too. Shouldn't that be at least
Rush Hour? Okay. I will put Rush Hour above Blue Streak and 48 Hours then.
Yeah, I would do that too.
Yeah.
Now, are we putting Beverly Hills Cop on there?
No, not at all. No, not at all. No, fuck that movie.
No, the thing is though, like when I think of a buddy cop movie, I think of it as a duo.
I'm joking.
No. When I think of it though, as a duo,
of course,
it's not really a duo movie. It's more Axel Foley, Taggart, and it's a trio. I always think of buddy cop as two buddies.
Then Taggart and Rosewood are essentially the same cop. One's the older version of the of the younger one.
Is it because they both look like Gerald Ford?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Here's a caveat I'll make for Beverly Hills Cop. Beverly Hills Cop 2. I'll make that caveat for buddy cop movie. 2 can be on the list.
2 is a buddy cop movie. I think 1's a revenge story. It's just a story of a guy going to get revenge over 2 days right away. And they become friends at the end of the movie. Not until the last 18 to 20 minutes is like Rosewood going to take him to the thing. And then they go with Taggart into the house. And then you're like, oh, now they're buddy cops for the final scene. It's more like he's getting arrested.
All right. Here's what we need to do.
Technically, they're buddy cops when they save the strip club, though.
Yeah.
They're super cops.
They're super cops. Only thing they're missing is tapes.
No, what I was going to say is we should do our homework between now and next Thursday, and we should have our buddy cop lists, our top 10 buddy cop movies, and we can argue about it, and we can come up with our official WCBS top 10 buddy cop movies, like how we used to do these things, and then we stopped. I blame Nick personally, but
Nick, listen, motherfucker, I've been here longer than you. I blame you because you were the newbie, all right?
Oof. I mean, that's just old hat at this point. Blame the white guy. Oh yeah, way to fucking.
No, I didn't say you were white. You said that. I didn't say you were white. I just said you were the newbie.
People
that's it.
can
We
look
didn't
and
know you was white.
Yeah, I don't even consider you white. I consider you part of the group. But I mean, if you want
I thought
to,
you were Gringo Cuban.
if you want to segregate yourself, you do that.
Personally, I like to be called Vanilla American, but that's not neither here nor there.
That's my favorite ice cream too.
Yeah, but yeah, we should totally do that.
American dream.
As a response to this extremely tragic IGN article, we should come up with our own list.
Can we?
Agreed.
We should. Oh
Agreed.
God, I would love to like assault IG's Twitter with this bullshit and just be like, "What's wrong with you people?"
We'll make a response because here's the thing: somebody in the chat has the best retort ever. Here, I'll paraphrase it if I can find it in the next like 10 seconds. But it essentially says, "Hold on, can I find it? Because I don't want to get it wrong." Somebody wanted to watch. Somebody said, "Oh, I'm guessing that the new Bad Boys releasing had the authors nostalgic for the old one, so they made a list just to express they believe Bad Boys is the greatest buddy cop movie of all time."
It's funny because I watched the new one and I watched the old ones as well recently because I wanted to see how good they were, and I was like, dare I say it, 2 is better than 1.
I think so.
Agree. Oh, I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah, because I love 1.
Bad Boys 2 is the shit. Woosah?
I love 1, but two, especially when you have that fucking ending where he has to go get his sister from Cuba, and I was like, fuck, man, that's awesome.
Well, even in Hot Fuzz, what does he say? He's like Point Break or Bad Boys 2, and he's like, I don't know which one's better. And he says, no, which one do you want to watch first?
That's very true.
So he doesn't even say Bad Boys in that movie, and that movie is an ode to cop movie, so he picks Bad Boys too.
Yeah, because That one's really good, and I think there's even like a steelbook or a box set of 1 and 2 on 4K that I might actually grab.
Yeah, I'd get those
because those dude, those deserve of the 4K treatment. That's something I would buy and watch on repeat just for like the sound and just the picture quality would be fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, agreed,
dude. I finally opened Top Gun Maverick yesterday. That is the
how was it? How did it look? How'd it look?
Best 4K disc of a modern film. sorry for saying like so much, folks. I was really impressed with the picture quality, especially when the hangar opened up at the beginning and they pulled out the test plane and you could see like the light come off of it. And you could see the texture of the metal and that whole scene where he's up in the cockpit at the beginning going Mach 10. I was just really hooked. I was like, man, this looks phenomenal. And then that shot of the plane exploding as it becomes like the weird supernova thing in the sky. I was like, damn, Top Gun, this looks way better than I remember. And I saw it in theaters. So Top Gun is the shit on disc.
If you want to get Fifth Element and you don't have it yet, let me know.
I got
the one. Okay. All right. I think you and I have the same one.
Yep.
Hopefully.
The good one.
Yes. The good one.
Because you like the movie far more than I do. I only bought it because it was ranked as a great disc, and I was like, I want to buy a really good-looking 4K movie today.
Well, that movie I feel is fully justified in 4K because you have so many visual elements and the sound elements, all of it is in there, and it's like that one deserves really the 4K treatment.
To me, that's where movies should have kind of stopped. Hear me out for a second. We were on this perfect blend of CGI and practical effects. The Fifth Element still looks good because not everything is done in a computer. The lady with the tendrils. I think some of the ships are done as model work, like Star Wars was done classically. It looks good. Mm-hmm. I like that like late 90s, right before we go to like Godzilla Episode 1, Final Fantasy, The Spirits Within, and Battlefield Earth. That's when CGI just ruins the planet.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, because I think it's one of those things where Hollywood thought it was going to be the Holy Grail, and they started overusing it, and then they did the thing where they were over extenuating the animators and things like that. The technology and the computer power wasn't there yet, so they couldn't get what they wanted, and they got
it's something so damn expensive, dude.
Yeah, yeah. Now it's just 10 dudes in India who do it, so it's fine.
I know. We outsourced the Wokebusters movie to them. So, folks, next summer, 4 men stop the world from outrage.
It's just gonna have like Hindi subtitles, and everybody's gonna be overdubbed. It's gonna be terrible.
It'll still be better than Ghostbusters 2016, Nick.
That's true.
By the way, I had a couple people ask, is this a parody of Ghostbusters like Stealing Solo is a parody of Star Wars? No, it's a parody of society in a Ghostbuster style package because we live in a fucking cartoon, folks. So if you think the world's garbage and you want to make fun of it, read Wokebusters. That's what it's about. Not, oh man, they put women in Ghostbusters. But I do have a joke. Dion, they call Wokebusters at one point. Never mind. I'll let you experience that one yourself, folks. I don't want to spoil the fun. I'll tell you. Dion, I'll just let you read it. Fuck it. Anyway, let's move on. Sorry. I get excited about these things. It's also, I've been burning the candle at both ends. So this has been a weird week for me.
Hey man, get you a really good coffee machine or a cappuccino machine.
I have had too much coffee is what I'm trying to get at, Nick. I got the French press. I've been drinking. Bailey's Irish Cream has their own branded coffee. It doesn't have alcohol in it, sadly, but I do have a bottle of Bailey's if I really wanted it.
That's true. But Jeff, do you grind your own beans? Do you?
Grind your own beans?
Maybe.
Grinds them, sorts them, flicks them. He does it all.
Yes, I do. I'm a master of flicking.
Thank you, Kenda. Thank you.
Thank you. It's right. Nick, before we check in with the audience, how was Bad Boys for Life?
It was okay. Going over everything I've seen this year, it wasn't bad, but it was kind of like the copy of the last one the same directors did, where you have the Porsche in the beginning racing down, to what's going on. You still had the same, hot females in it, which is good. But one thing I'm not a fan of they've done in the last two, where they go into like this heavy family story and their personal lives of Marcus and especially of Mike Larry. Like, I don't care about his personal life or things like that. And also like they do the same thing where they're harking on Mike and Marcus being old again. It's like, we get it, they're old. We learned that in the last one. Like it's fine. Like they had the whole thing in the last one. That
trope.
Well, they had the whole thing in the last one where it's like the foot race they do and the glasses and he was coloring his goatee. One thing I will say though, they both don't look very good on the big screen because you can tell they're wearing a lot of makeup as dudes, and I'm just like, that's almost too much. Like it's a little much.
Are you telling me black can crack, Nick?
I don't know. Maybe Hollywood black is different. That could be it. The story is wild with Joe Pantoliano, his character comes back, even though he died, and there's a whole thing with that, and it's so fucking weird. It's so fucking weird. They even involve his daughter and his granddaughter into the movie somehow. I don't get it. And Fletcher is there for a bit from the from the first two movies. But they
used that I was like, Fletch? He's in this movie?
No, Fletcher, the John Saley. Michael Bay makes an appearance. So yeah, there's that. Also, that kid that was on the internet like during the pandemic who would always do like, this thing, and he would direct people's movies. I mean, shorts. Just shrug his shoulders. The kid from Kenya. I don't know what his name is. The bad guy comes out of nowhere. I don't really care about him. He's just kind of like one and done. And also, they do the same thing. They do the thing with the bad guy where they try to justify his past, like or him being a bad guy by like, oh, he was tortured in the past, and like he's not, he has this, that, and the other. It's like, I don't fucking care. The bad guy, like that's why I love the fucking Russian drug dealer from part 2. Like he was a motherfucker. It was you wanted him dead.
Wasn't it Peter Stormare?
Yeah, it was great. He was a great bad guy.
But this one,
yeah. Yeah, but this one is like he was ex-military. He was like left in Afghanistan with the CIA, whatever. It was like, okay, we don't care. I will say there's a really fun part with Reggie where Reggie has to take care of some bad guys in their home, and they're doing that thing that they did in Bad Boys 2 where they go through where Will Smith is like killing the Haitians and they go through the bullet holes throughout the house. Yeah. They're doing that, but they're doing that with security screens. In this one, and it's it's okay. They're using ring cameras. I'm like, okay, whatever. No big deal. I mean, it's fine. I mean, his son comes back, Armando. He comes back. The girl who was his partner, Rita, is now captain. They changed
the Hudgens is in this movie.
Oh no, sorry, not Rita. I can't.
No, you were right. It is Rita. Captain Rita. Somebody. I'm looking at the cast.
Yeah. Vanessa Hudgens comes back. Fine. The Asian kid who was part of Ammo doesn't come back for some reason. Dorn does, so that's fine.
Who the fuck is G-Rod? He's in this movie.
G-Rod.
It's this guy.
Presidente. I don't know.
You saw the movie.
I did, but it's like after I don't remember who he is exactly. I don't know. I think it's some shit. But Tiffany Haddish plays a fucking angry stripper, which is pointless. She was like a 10-minute character. It was dumb. Super dumb.
Isn't that most of Tiffany Haddish's roles these days?
Yeah, I mean she can't quit drinking, so that's why she's barely in anything these days. She keeps getting caught drinking and driving. So
Oh. I want to feel bad, but I don't know her well enough to care.
Yeah. So there's a whole scene with that. Basically everything you see in the trailer happens. It's not really that big of a deal. But yeah, they keep harking on them being old. Also, like Will Smith's character has panic attacks and like can't perform. That's the thing that happens.
Like his dick won't get hard, or
no, he's in like a gunfire situation and he doesn't become like Crazy Mike or Mike Larry or whatever he has to do. He just like his heart, like you see him do that slow down thing where he's breathing and looking at his gun, and it's just like, I don't know what's happening. I can't function. And he's like, oh, I was having a heart attack. He's like, and the medic that sees him the first time says, oh, you're having a panic attack, sir. And he's like, sir. So they keep harking on them being old. It's just like,
I'll pass.
Yeah. So I mean, it's not bad. I was prepared for it to be really bad, but it wasn't bad. At least there was like enough action to keep it going. The story gets weird here and there. I would definitely stream it if you're gonna watch it. It's okay. I know the one thing I will say, and I showed you this in the chat when I go watch it. I went to a standard 9:30 or 9 o'clock showing at Atlantic Station in Atlanta, and it was packed the fuck out.
Oh shit!
It was packed the fuck out, and this was Saturday 9 o'clock major theater in the middle of town. Packed the fuck out.
I'm surprised how much money it made.
Yeah, because I think there's still more. I think there's still a little bit of life left in that franchise. I honestly hope this is the last one because I couldn't see them doing another one. Like they're getting up there.
I mean, all these things got to end eventually. I don't want them to jump the shark.
Yeah, two things. I would like to see happen. First one is fine. Second one, people are gonna get mad at me for. First one, I would love to see them make the ammo show, but have Martin Lawrence be like the captain of it, or the guy who takes over. Don't put Will Smith in it because he's not gonna fucking do it. Martin Lawrence isn't doing anything. Give him the ammo or Bad Boys show or whatever. That's it, and have it just be ammo and these like CW kids like fucking around Miami, like that.
Keep it hard R.
Yeah, make it a Showtime or Max show. Make it like a streaming thing. Do like 8 and 10 episodes. Make them like hard R, that kind of stuff. A lot of good looking females. Miami, that whole thing, South Beach bullshit. Do that. That's fine.
That ain't bullshit, man. We've been down there. We know.
Yeah, no, do that whole thing. Ride that out. I'll watch it. Do like 5 seasons. Don't do more than that, and just cut it the fuck off. Another thing I would like to see, and I know this is sacrilege, but I'll say it anyways, a prequel of them being in, cadets at Miami PD in the like early to mid 90s.
I'd watch it just to go back to the early to mid 90s.
Yeah. Because you could do the buddy cop thing with them, or they get together, they hate each other, and they have to like work a case, like, and especially drugs in the 90s in Miami, you'd have that whole thing come up again. I would watch that.
I'd watch it because it's better than the Acolyte.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to do a callback.
Yeah, if they, but here's the thing: they can only do one like that. You can't do 2 like that. Do 1 like that and then cut it off. That's fine. Do 1. That's it.
But Nick, they can't stop themselves.
I know it's like they're a teenage boy with a Sears catalog. It's terrible.
What decade are you from? We didn't grow up with the Sears catalog. Even we had the internet.
Yeah.
Grade school.
It's the only reference that came to mind all of a sudden. I just blurted it out. All right, I'm sorry.
Are you a time traveler, Nick? Are you secretly like 64 years old? Are you like Virgil?
Listen to us. I have seen things you through them turn you white.
I'm pretty pale these days. I should go out more. We'll go to the pool. That was fun.
Oh man. But yeah, I mean, it's like once again, it wasn't okay. It wasn't woke. There was none of that bullshit in there. There was a good balance between the female characters and the male characters. Just there was a lot of ageism. That's about it. Once again, it's pretty good. If you're gonna go see it, if you want to go see something in theaters, there was a lot of. They did have a lot of like the music callbacks from the first one. You could tell that they kind of brought that music back from the first movie. It was once again, if you have free time during the week or during the weekends and it's on discount, go watch it. If you want it till streaming, that's fine. You're not really missing much, so it's okay. I would definitely if you like that kind of movie and you want to check it out, check it out.
I got my Regal pass, so I might go see it one of these days. I got to go out tomorrow and film, so it won't be tomorrow. But folks, join me on Saturday for Earthboy video.
But yeah, like if you at some point need a break and want to go, just turn off your brain and go watch something. Fucking go sit in the theater, get a couple beers, and like go watch it.
I did turn off my brain yesterday after I uploaded the video, and I turned it off so well I forgot what I even did. I think I took a nap and I got into a new video game. That's what I did yesterday. Nice. It was nice.
Nice.
Hey, folks in the chat, quickly, somebody type in a number so we can press the button so we can check back in with you guys. We want to have some more fun tonight. So first number that we see, let me know. Folks in the chat want to be in our Wokebusters movie, Nick. We got parts for you, folks. Just help us cross all of our goals.
The only way
we'll make it.
No, the only way we make the Wokebusters movie is if we get to 1 million subs. And the only way we can do that is if you guys keep sharing our stuff and liking our content. Okay, that's the only way it happens.
Yeah. Because then, folks, we can fund the movie quickly, and then we want to without a studio.
Exactly, we want to self-fund and make it without the studio system because we all know that they're terrible people. So that's what we want, but we need your help. We need to make this happen. And once again, if we do get to that point and we do make the movie, and it is, we will definitely need you guys to come out and watch it and vote for it, and hopefully we can get into some major theaters and things like that, and then we can make a part 2. So
we'll get Ray Parker Jr. to sing a theme song.
I would die happy then if he made our theme song. That'd be great.
We'll get Ernie Hudson to be in the movie, but
Jesus Christ,
who would he play?
It doesn't matter. He could play the mayor or something. It doesn't matter.
The mayor's a white lady. Dion checks her out.
Okay. He could play a realtor or something. I don't know.
The realtor's a white lady. Dion checks her out.
He could play the guy you buy the car. We buy the car from.
That's the white lady. It's included with the brewery.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know.
There aren't many black people in Wokebusters, Nick. That might be one of the jokes.
Yeah, that might be one of the jokes. Yeah, I don't know, but if it gets to the point where we can get him to be a part, we may need to race swap somebody.
Buddy, it's Ernie Hudson. I would just be like, yeah, you can be anybody you want to be. You want to be Winston? Okay, here, just
you can play Ernie Hudson in our movie.
Yeah.
He just happened to be in Portland this day.
Yeah. Oh God, Ernie Hudson is our Stan Lee. Every movie we make, Ernie Hudson has a cameo where he saves a child from falling debris. Look out! Just Ernie Hudson. Dude, he'll say yes. Who wouldn't want to be a cameo every year?
That'd be great. Ernie
the EHU, the Ernie Hudson universe.
I would not be mad at that at all. Ernie Hudson was our Stan Lee. I'd be really fucking happy with that. To be like, all right, fine. He's here for a day. Fuck it.
Let's Ernie Hudson it up. We had our first number show up. It was Kendo with the number 42.
Did you see that guy accidentally hit that moose with his car?
No.
Holy shit. Jamie, pull that video up.
Yeah, that's what's up. Accidental Seller, thank you very much. Opinion on the Star Blazer anime. Is that Battleship Yamamoto? Because I've seen that only a few times at a buddy's house. My friend was in the Navy, and he said he would watch this cartoon when he was younger. I don't know if it had anything to do with him going to the Navy, but yeah, I've seen, if it's Battleship Yamamoto, I do know that show. Thank you, though, Accidental Seller. I know I remember liking it, and I think one of my favorite memes of all time is this song. Well, it's not a meme, it's just a thing. Song, Jumping Onto White Base, and I think one of the clips comes from Battleship Yamamoto, where the guy, like, smacks him, one of the pirate-looking dudes. John Thomas, thank you very much. I still maintain Darth Kennedy is burning everything down on purpose because her artistic vision was rejected. Another one, please. I don't know where that voice came from. It's midnight almost here, so I'm tired. But John, whatever she's doing isn't any good. She is just not delivering anything creatively. When we say she's creatively bankrupt, come on, guys. It's been 8 years. I think that statement stands. No one out there can go, oh, man, this woman's really brought an air of class and sophistication to anything she's touched. She's like Carrion from Spider-Man. If he touches you, you get cancer and die. Don't let Kathleen Kennedy touch you. And if she does, thank you for your service. But anyway, John Thomas, she's terrible at what she does, man. I wouldn't be surprised if she's on a fucking vengeful kick, or she's just really bad at her job. I like to believe she's really bad at her job, because to me it would be funnier if she was stupid. Like in the South Park movie, when is it Brooke Shields they interview at the USO show, and she's just like a box of rocks. I think that'd be really funny if you
where she's like, I farted on the Blue Lagoon set once, and slapped by Terrence or Philip, whichever one it was.
That's a great movie. We got to do our commentary soon. It's just going to be us laughing for an hour and a half.
That's fine.
All right, sorry. Here we go. Shrubbles08 asks for an Uncle Ben. Ask and ye shall receive. Where you at? There you go.
Who's that Pokemon? It's
Uncle Ben.
Thank you, Shrubbles08, for that and your word of the day, as always. Xavier to God has a fun fuck, marry, kill, guys. Halloween Kills, Curse of Michael Myers, and Halloween 2 from 2009. Well, I'm marrying the Curse of Michael Myers because at least it has Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
I will fuck Halloween Kills and then kill Halloween 09.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that one. Yeah, because 09 is my buddy Rob Zombie, right? That's his one, right?
Yeah. Knights in White Satin.
Oh God.
Yes, I love. I hate that song. I don't hate that song. I hate that movie. So, yeah. Here's another one though from Xavier to God. Fuck, Mary, kill. Jason Goes to Hell. The Final Friday. Freddy's Dead. The Final Nightmare. And Halloween. The Curse of Michael Myers.
Let's see. Jason Goes to Hell. Friday. Oh, Freddy's Final. Okay, Freddy's Dead. The Final Nightmare. Jesus.
I'm marrying Michael Myers again.
Yeah, that's the best one out of this. I will marry Michael Myers. I'll probably fuck Freddy and then kill Jason Goes to Hell because that movie is terrible.
Jason Goes to Hell is unwatchable. That is my final statement. It is an unwatchable piece of shit. I hate it. I would never watch it. I like the one scene where the girl gets ripped open from the tit up, and that's it.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, no, for sure. But yeah, that's it, man. That's it. That one is those are bad. I mean, I will say this. Halloween Resurrection with Busta Rhymes is fucking my favorite. It's so much shit, but goddamn, is it good? And it's one of those movies that
I sent the text to Tony from Hack the Movies, Trick or Treat Motherfucker on Halloween.
Oh my god. I actually have. I think I won a bid for a figure made by some Canadian dude who's who's Busta Rhymes in like his Mike Myers outfit or whatever. So I have that figure somewhere.
You know, all of my Michael Myers action figures are actually secretly Busta Rhymes dressed as Michael Myers. I just haven't put one yet.
If I ever knew I was going to meet that guy, I would get a Michael Myers figure. Michael Myers figure. If I could get the resurrection one, and have him sign it, just because I would want that forever.
It's not the worst Halloween movie by a mile. Halloween 5 has always existed.
That's true, but it's one of those things where it's like people shit on it, and it's like I understand why you shit on it. It's not good. And it's one of those things that was written. You could tell it was written without Michael Myers in mind, and they just added him in. You could tell that 100%.
Yep,
and
it's an early 2000s horror flick.
Sorry, I understand why people shit on every Halloween movie that's not 1 and 2. I don't understand. I don't justify or think that the shitting on 3 is okay, but I understand the shitting on everything else.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's not a great franchise.
No,
it's
stayed above water because of 2 movies, specifically 1 movie, but the second one isn't terrible.
You know, I don't think Danielle Harris is the problem with Halloween 4 and 5. She's fine. It's a stupid story, and there was that whole story about how she got snubbed by Jamie Lee Curtis at the premiere of one of these movies recently, and people were like, "Oh, she's not really part of Halloween. She's been written out." It's like the movies aren't great, but she's fine. Like the Jamie Lloyd character is 5th most important character in the whole series, Nick.
Yeah.
Like she's there. I mean, you can't really. Yeah, and they wrote her out for dumb reasons, but.
Yeah, I mean, they had her. I think they had her as a grown up in Halloween
6, Curse of Michael Myers. She's
that's
played
what
by
it was.
somebody else.
Yeah.
That's why it's not her, right?
They
wouldn't pay her the day. They wouldn't pay her the day rate, like her 1 day rate to do it. She's like, he explained it too recently in some video. And I'm like, oh, okay. I knew it was going to be money because horror people are cheap, but that movie's so bad. I can't believe we picked the Marriott over other ones, Nick.
Well, I mean, we weren't given really good choices, so we had to do something.
John Thomas has a good question: Blade TV show or the current idea of the Blade remake? You must pick one.
I'll take the TV show.
TV show.
Folks, there are a lot of bad TV shows and a lot of bad movies, but you can find some great TV shows out there if you look. They're not hard to find. They're not. The thing is, it's not genre entertainment. It's not the stuff that we're going to talk about and make videos about. There is good stuff out there, but it's not this. It's very different. It's more drama.
Dare I say, if you have Amazon Prime, look up a show called The Expanse. 6 seasons, about 30 episodes, I think. It's space stuff. Go check it out. The books are there too. I highly recommend.
You have the comic books now.
Yep, I got the comic books as well from that place in Florida when we went to go to Halloween Horror Nights.
That was fun. We got to get our shit lined up to do that again this year.
Definitely.
John Thomas, thank you very much. Better idea: Fuck, Marry, Kill. Blade 3, Blade TV, or current Blade remake. Okay, Nick, you go first since I've been going first on all these.
All right, kill the current Blade remake. Let's Let's see, marry 3 and fuck the TV show.
Kendo?
Oh, marry 3, fuck the TV show, and kill the current planned Blade, because at least as bad as Blade 3 is, it's still one of the original Blade movies. So there's that.
Yep.
You're just a Triple H mark.
Clearly.
I know, right? Terrorizing. Nick, I'm with you guys. I'm killing the fucking version of Blade that's not out yet, and I'm marrying Blade 3 because it's not that bad.
No, I mean,
that's where we are tonight, folks. It's not that bad.
Yeah, and I mean, like, you know, especially trying to. I remember watching Blade 1. I mean, when the guy gets lured into the whole rave and the fucking, you know, the blood things goes off, and then you have that crazy EDM music playing as he just goes and like just kills all the vampires in that club. Like it was a fun scene. It's a great way to start it. Just like, you know, right off the bat, just action.
There's more horror questions, Nick, from Xavier to God. I love these. Rate these from least to most favorite Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. Oh, sorry, from least to favorite. Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2003, Halloween 07, Friday the 13th, 2009, and the Nightmare on Elm Street remake from 2010.
Okay, from best to worst. Let's see. Okay, I've softened on the Friday. Okay, I will go best to worst. Friday the 13th part 09. Let's go Texas Chainsaw Massacre 03. Then we'll do Nightmare on Elm Street 2010, and then Halloween 07.
I'm torn if I'm flipping Halloween and what you said, Nightmare on Elm Street, because, dude, I think Friday the 13th, 2009 is a fine movie. It's better than
it is.
franchise.
Like, no, it is, because I've watched it over the last few years, and I'm like, this is not that bad. I gave it shit because I was mad.
I think horror, like, that's one the horror fans got wrong, because Platinum Dunes died its own death and deserved to, but they should have made more of those Friday the 13th movies, because they had tits and blood and the language.
God,
they
yeah,
they did it all, but people bitched, and so they stopped making them, and they didn't make enough money. But like, that movie is completely fine to me. It's better than part 5. It's better than part 8. It's better than part 9.
Yeah. I just wish they hadn't made it like a full remake. If they had made it a continuation, it would have been fine. If you'd skipped the first like 15 minutes and he'd had his mask and everything and just done like, if you'd done the completely different mask, would have been fine. Just don't make it this thing of like his mom redies and that bullshit. Like, don't put that in there. Just make it a continuation where like they find the old like fucking Crystal Lake sign and it's been there for, you know, fucking decades and stuff. Just continue the story. It's fine. Because you had the elements, you had the kills, you had the elements, you had the actual kids, you had the whole slasher thing going on. It's just you could have made it another part to the whole franchise, but you had to fucking try to remake it.
Realistically, you should have just called it Friday the 13th and picked up at any point in time.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, they really kind of ran that franchise into the ground. I mean, they took it to outer space, for God's sakes.
No shit. But the funny thing is that out of the movies he's mentioned, I think 3 out of the 4 are Platinum Dunes. You have Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, and then Texas Chainsaw Massacre in 03, because you had that's when they started that shit. Platinum Dunes, owned by Michael Bay, bought up those franchises and then started making these very cheap $10 million or less remakes, and they would hit on the fucking member berries, and that's what they did.
I saw all those movies in theaters.
Yep.
Nope. Not Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I was in grade school and didn't care.
I did see that because I was in freshman, junior, so I was a sophomore year of high school. Me and my friend went to go see it.
I went on a date to see the Friday the 13th remake, so that was kind of cool. That was fun.
That's nice. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you the full story off air, but
yeah,
it was cool. It's not what you think, but it's
cool. Still, the best thing I ever saw with my friend, and we wore like opposing shirts, was Freddy versus Jason. The best thing we were, and the funny thing is, like, girls actually came with us to go see the movie.
Because that movie's cool.
It was a group thing, and it was just like we were nerding out. Everyone's like, "What's going on? What's happening?" No, it wasn't an orgy, Jeff. Jesus Christ, get your head out of the gutter.
There's no gutter around here. It's a bedroom.
But no, it was, that was the highlight of us being in high school at that time, because like that movie came out and it was like, holy shit, they're actually doing it. They have got some balls and it's happening. It was wonderful. It was great.
Yeah. I absolutely loved it when it came out. Do I still like it? Yeah, we had a lot of fun with it when we did our commentary last year.
Yeah, we did. It was a wonderful. It was a simpler time back then.
Speaking of simpler times, years gone by, I think we should take a trip back to the past and play everyone's favorite new game, Quiz Coach Kendo. Kendo,
Oh boy.
are you ready for today's quiz?
Ready, willing, and Gable.
All right. He's still alive, right?
Which one?
Gable Stevenson. He quit the WWE, right? You're talking about Chad
yeah,
Gable.
he's well, I was talking about Chad Gable, but yeah, Gable Stevenson is now a member of the Buffalo Bills practice squad, and Clark Gable is very much dead.
Yeah. R.I.P. Clark. You were the real MVP of Gone with the Wind. All right, here we go. Today's quiz, Kendo, is famous figures in American military history. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Eager to fight the Spanish-American War, Theodore Roosevelt resigned as Assistant Secretary of the Navy to form which volunteer military group?
That would be the Rough Riders, Jeff.
That's the Rough Riders. Yeah. Anthem. Anyway, according to legend, Molly Pitt earned her name during the Revolutionary War by performing which action?
I mean, I thought
lobbing
she brought
grenades,
water to soldiers. So the only thing that has anything to do with water, I'll go with cooling revolutionaries' cannons with water.
That is correct. Which of these famous Americans died during the Battle of the Alamo? Roosevelt, Crockett.
Davy Crockett, king of the wild frontier.
Killed him a bar when he was only 3.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Back to the Future. Which commando unit killed Islamist leader Osama bin Laden?
That would be SEAL Team 6.
You know who told me about that? John Cena. Before U.S. president, which of these men led the surviving members of his crew to safety after his patrol boat was sunk in World War II?
That would be John Fitzgerald Kennedy.
I must know these military people better than I thought because I'm playing along at home and I'm doing quite well. The first offensive victory by American forces during the Revolutionary War at the Battle of Ticonderoga was achieved in part by the leader of by which leader and his Green Mountain Boys?
That would be Ethan Allen.
That's where the furniture comes from.
That's what I thought. That's why I know that fact, because I remember the furniture. To only find out that it was something else.
Which U.S. general declared, "I have returned," after his forces retook the Philippines during World War II?
Douglas MacArthur.
Correct. Which of these black leaders was an Underground Railroad conductor who acted as a spy and scout for the Union during the Civil War?
Run with Harriet, buddy.
Oh, sweet. Is Julia Roberts going to play her in the remake?
I hope so.
Remember we had hashtag Run with Harriet going for a while?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Which actor participated in 20 active combat missions?
That would be Jimmy Stewart.
Correct. Often mistakenly credited with inventing baseball, Abner Doubleday was involved in the firing of which first shots during which war?
That would be the American Civil War. I know he did.
The Marines' hymn begins with the line, "From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli." Which modern country is Tripoli?
Libya.
Oh, dude, did they get this?
Those fucking Libyans.
God damn it, man. They killed Doc. Which of these airports is named for a fighter pilot who died in action during World War II? Boston Logan, Chicago O'Hare, Hatfield Jackson Atlanta, or Washington Dulles International Airport?
Dulles was named for somebody else. Logan was named for Wolverine, probably. Go Chicago O'Hare.
That is correct.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that was close. Outnumbered and pinned down during World War I, Sergeant Major Daniel Daly encouraged his men with which famous line? Come on, you sons of bitches.
Do you want to live forever?
That's like the greatest line ever. They even rip it off in Starship Troopers. In 1918, Alvin York achieved national fame for which feat?
Capturing more than 100 German soldiers at once.
There we go. Frank Thompson, fought for the Union during the American Civil War, despite having which usually disqualifying characteristic?
Being a woman.
Correct. Sarah Edmonds was the name.
Yep.
After being shot down over North Vietnam, Jeremiah Denton conveyed a message to the U.S. intelligence by using which novel method?
He was blinking Morse code during a filmed interview to let him know that he was being tortured and that he was forced into making that statement. Thank you,
brilliant.
Ken Burns. That's where I learned that from.
The Viet Cong had Jeremiah Denton take part in an interview with the Japanese news media. During the interview, he blinked torture in Morse code, letting U.S. intelligence know he and the other POWs were being tortured.
Mm-hmm. I learned about that in the Vietnam War Ken Burns thing. I would recommend it to everybody.
I can sit down and watch a history documentary like it's nothing, dude.
That one is very good.
So, Coach Kendo is a 100% A+++ student here on the show tonight.
Another good war movie that came out recently was The Greatest Beer Run Ever with Zach Efron.
Yes,
that was. I actually read listened to the book of that too, and it's way more detailed than what actually happened. I mean, they do a good job of the movie, but like he was there for like I think 6 months or something. Like he couldn't get back. It was terrible.
Yeah. So when Apple TV had Masters of the Air, I signed up for that. Gave my dad the login so we could watch it. And then I asked him if he was watching anything else on there, and he said he watched Greyhound, which I didn't end up watching. He asked me if there was anything else on there worth watching. I told him, I was like, The Greatest Beer Run Ever is a pretty good movie. He's like, what is that? I was like, it's a Vietnam War movie, but there's no killing dinks in the movie. And so he's like, oh, yeah, I guess I'll check it out, which I don't know why, because some of his favorite movies are like Platoon and Full Metal Jacket that have many killing of the VC in those movies. So he watched it. He liked it. He thought it was a good movie.
Yeah, no,
for a Vietnam movie without, dropping the VC.
Yeah, no, and I read the book and got all the details about it, man. It was a lot of fun. It really was. But yeah, he risked his life for his buddies just to bring them beer from Boston.
It was Pabst Blue Ribbon. It's not even from Boston.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. God. It's funny because in the movie, it seems like he has an infinite amount of beer. It really does, but like he had a very finite amount.
Yeah, it's like when he's like humping that fucking duffel bag full of beers through the jungle. It's like, dude, that's heavy. I don't know how you're doing that.
Yeah. It was a wonderful movie, and I highly recommend the movie. Highly recommend the book as well by the same name. Check them out. They're really good.
Mm-hmm. It was good. I liked it.
Yep.
Now, Kendo, one of our listeners, we're going to do our fan mail. One of our listeners made you a quiz, and we also have a couple of pieces of fan mail. So, folks, our email address is info@worldclassbullshitters.com. The best world-class bullshitters. .com. There you go. Works, right? All right. So, let us read some emails so we don't go all night long. So let's see what this quiz is going to be. We'll play this one together. How's that, boys? It's short, and then we'll read the 3 messages, and then we'll be out here before midnight. So there we go. Enter our nickname. What should we call ourselves?
Prairie Gazelle seems kind of nice.
All right. Your nickname? Oh, I have to spin it. Never mind.
Spin it.
We are Tropical Dingo. That's even better.
Tropical Dingo.
I'll take it.
All right.
Dingo. Okay. Right.
What is Dion's favorite movie? Terminator Dark Fate.
Oh, yeah, Terminator Dark Fate. Yeah.
Yeah, wow, 136 points.
Yeah, you get more points the faster you answer it.
All right, let's see what's next. Jeff and Dion went to college with a guy who tried to get laid by claiming this medical condition. Yes. This is the best thing ever. Oh my God. Yeah, Ghost claimed he had diabetes to get with Hedgecock. It was great. I found a picture of him today, actually.
Oh my God, that's wonderful.
All right, we're gonna make sure we share this shit all over fucking Twitter tomorrow. And we gotta spam this shit along with Wogbusters. Get the word out. Kendo almost got kitted out of showing. Wait, he almost got kitted out of what showing of which movie?
That'd be the Hitchhiker's Guide. Yeah, I almost got thrown out for watching that movie.
Beating Prairie Gazelle pretty swiftly. I mean, it's a quiz about
Fuck
us. If
that
we get
gazelle.
anything wrong, well. Jeff references what Miami Vice situation when talking about the show's decline in quality.
Oh,
Jeff should know this.
ah,
To be fair, that was Kendo that brought that one up.
yeah.
Was
Because
it?
I think the show does. That is a terrible episode. I think the James Brown one is where the show dies.
Mm.
You're right, though. The bull smuggling is terrible. What is Nick's favorite movie?
Basmati Blues. Well, okay. Wait, do they really mean the actual favorite movie being the Goonies? Okay. I thought
The
that
other
was
ones
good.
are
I do call Brie. That's why I call Brie Larson the Basmati whore because of that movie.
I thought
Dude,
it was a
there's
trick.
There's a
No,
rap
that's-
song called Basmati Beatdown, and it's on Vindaloo 2 Electric Boogaloo. I'll send you the album. That's not a joke. Which
Oh,
person does
God.
Kendo not have a grudge against? Rob Zombie, Topher Grace, O.J. Simpson, Kumail Nanjiani.
Oh,
O.J.
O.J.
Simpson. O.J. Simpson.
To be fair, Nick's grudge against Rob Zombie is way bigger than mine, and my beef with Topher Grace is centered around one particular movie role. That's it.
Listen, if once again, if I see Rob Zombie at a convention we do, I will just be a irritating asshole to him for 3 days. That's what's gonna happen.
What if you see him next weekend when we're in Tennessee?
Then I will.
Let's take him to lunch.
I will call him out and I will yell at him and call him a fucking poser.
That's fine. Maybe he'll take us.
Because
to
what
lunch
is he?
and
What is he
let's go
gonna
feast
do?
my house.
What is he actually gonna do to me? Nothing.
Well, he's not gonna fight you.
Yeah, exactly. Because he's too fucking old and he's a poser.
I figured it's because he was worried about getting sued for assaulting you, but yeah, that's
No,
fine too.
it's because he's a poser.
Nick's like, I didn't hear no bell ring. I ain't hear no lawsuit. Bring it. Bring it.
Fucking
There we go.
man.
Nick does not consider this place an actual country.
I mean, I feel like Wakanda would also be like a B answer. That would be fine. Like half the points, but we'll take that.
Has anyone actually been to Canada here on this panel?
I have.
Okay, Canada is real. Next one. Kendo's favorite Ghostbuster is who?
It's easy.
Let's see. There we go.
It's Winston. No, next one. Which is something that Dion isn't scared of? Oh, horses, mannequins, white women.
White women.
There you go.
He's afraid of
What's
them
the
in a
irony?
different way.
Yeah, which the irony is he should be actually afraid of them
I mean,
and
that's
not
true.
the other three things.
Cops used to do what to Kendo?
They gave me baseball cards.
Give him coke.
Give him coke. Beat him up. Something gay is the other answer.
This is June.
No, they gave me baseball cards.
Fair enough.
That was our best move. Kendo's friend that he brings up every week is so who? Oh,
That'd be Brandon.
Oh, Adolf?
Which is funny because Chris is an option. That's Brandon's brother's name is actually Chris.
But I love how Adolf is an option. Like, I mean, you do say AA run a lot too, so
Oh yeah, AA Ron. He's actually listens to the show. I'll get messages from AA Ron. It's like, what are you guys talking about this week? Be like, I don't fucking know. Even though I do, but I
Ask
kayfabe
AA
the
though.
HJ.
well, I'm glad you do always. You're committed for life.
It's
Here
true.
we go. 12 of 20. Jeff and Dion met where?
Michigan State.
Whoa,
Oh, okay,
no.
strip club.
There we go. There it is. Gay bathhouse, a van down by the river, Jersey Mike's. That's
Dion and I have never been to Jersey Mike's, so together we go to Big John Steak and Onion in Lansing, Michigan. Folks, if you want a delicious sandwich and you're in Lansing, Michigan, go to Big John Steak and Onion on the corner of Saginaw and Lake Lansing Road. Tell them Jeff sent you. Oh, ask who?
They're like, what the fuck? Who's Jeff?
Next quiz. Which show is Nick not a fan of? Nick, I'm sorry to answer that you're not a fan of the Acolyte. Is it fair to say, or should I apologize?
Oh wow!
Well,
yeah. That's funny, but yeah, that's funny because the other three are like my favorite shows. Yeah, Psych is fucking great. I do love Psych.
I think was it Clone Geek that made this in the chat?
It may be Clone Geek.
Yeah, I gotta look at the name because kind of know some.
Did Dion die in the toilet? Is that what happened?
Yeah.
That's gonna be the lore for the show. Yes.
All right, we'll answer this without Dion. You know what we'll do is we'll make Dion play this by himself and see if he gets 100%. And if not, he's fired.
That would be even better. That'd be even better. We need to do that next week for sure.
All right. 14 of 20. Jeff is known for stacking which action figure at Kroger?
That'd be Rose Tico.
Well, no, you did a new stacking. You did a new stacking recently in the newest toy video or
yeah,
whatever.
it's Reva.
Yep.
She's the funny thing
Bob
is
Barker,
everyone talks about the Rose Tico toys at the landfill. No, the listeners sent them to me, and I have about 100 Rose Tico figures.
Wait, hold on. When you stacked up the Revas, did you get shit for them? People were like, "Oh, you just knocked them down. You're an asshole for doing that." Did you get more shit for that?
Here's the thing, and I'll break.
No. I know what actually happens behind the scenes, but did you get like shitty comments when people saw that?
Read the comments on the toy video, like that specific toy video, because I didn't want people to go, "Oh, you threw the toys on the ground." No, who the fuck? This is a barn. I don't live in a barn. I close the door when I leave and open it too and walk through it. This is an APA reference. Anyway, let's go on. Yeah, people, the internet, man.
Yeah.
I gotta say, this is excellent. This is fun. True or false? Did Jeff name his horse in Zelda Dion is straight? Oh, Dion is gay.
Yes, I named a horse Dion in Red Dead 2. In fact, I had horses named after all the guys on the show in Red Dead 2.
I named my horse in Zelda just Dion, I believe.
I think I've got a Dion also in Zelda.
The crazy part is when I went to Tears of the Kingdom, my stable was still there, and I'm like, "Oh, Dion's still here. Cool."
Yeah, they port the stables over. Because I thought that was hilarious too. When I went to the stable and I could get out fucking Epona or Dion.
That's great.
I was like, I'd rather have Epona.
Which type of
people? Canadians,
sand people. He doesn't like furries either, but we'll go with sand people.
Canadians are fine. Gungans are okay, but yeah, fuck the sand people.
I think flat earthers are worse than furries.
That's also accurate.
All right, 17th 20. Kendo calls his nephew what nickname?
That would be Doofus.
I don't know.
It's the Fuhrer. The Fuhrer.
I mean, I'm starting to think that maybe I need to call him Ricardo. Be like, now that you're in high school, you've graduated. You're no longer Doofus. You're Ricardo.
Ricardo.
Make sure he grows a little mustache when you call him Ricardo. All right, 18 of 20. Jeff is pissed at which character hasn't gotten an action figure.
That'd be Axel Foley.
OSHA, Bill Cosby, Kim Jong-un.
OSHA's got her own action figure.
Reading the other answers are just as fun. Oh my god.
Yeah, this is great. 19 of 20. The patron saint of WCBS is which Superman director?
Richard
Bryan Singer, Zack Snyder, James Gunn.
Only one of those men is a great director.
Okay, this one question stands between us and actually passing our own test with flying carpets.
Jeff's favorite wrestler. Oh God, am I gonna get this one right?
Logan Paul, Stone Cold Steve. I mean, those, yeah.
Scott Steiner. They say that all men are created equal. They say that all quizzes are created equal, and you look at this one, and you look at other ones, that's just not true because this one is superior. Sorry, Britannica. Suck it.
Yes, we won.
100% represented our own shit. No, Clone Geek, thank you very much for making that, man. That was awesome. That was a lot of fun.
Clearly, we know each other and our own podcast.
Yes. We have too much fun doing this shit. Let's go ahead and drop out this link real quick so people can play it at home. That's a lot of fun.
Even though we just gave them the answers.
Well, here's the thing. If we tweet it out, not everyone's going to be watching this live. You know, they'll be like, oh, there's a WCBS quiz. Here, I'll even tweet it out right now on air. Take the fan-made WCBS quiz here. And then we got 100%. Obviously.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, there we go. And you can play along at home now, folks. Back to the emails, though. Our friend Darian217 has some interesting 404 errors to share for episode 404. Now, we can't share this one. It has a nipple in it, so we're going to just show. Okay. We're just going to start with this one. Sorry, man, but I like my YouTube channel. So
yeah. I mean, that's fair. That's fair.
We'll keep it. So here's
Dion. Come back, Dion. Dion, come back.
We got this one. I can't find this page. We got this 404 error. This page not found. This page could not be located. We've reached level 404. Let's get back to home. Try again. Lost your way? Sorry, we can't find that page. You'll find loads to explore on the home page. We can't find what you're looking for. That's my favorite one.
I like that one.
Both funny and fiction. A Royale with cheese. Now, our friend Clone Geek also sent an email about if I was a ghost. Hello, if I was a ghost, I would haunt Paul Feig to fuck with him for making Ghostbusters 2016.
That's fair.
Oh my god,
that's very fair.
I mean, yeah, that's fair. You know,
you deserve it.
Well, here you go, Kendra. This one's better. If I was a ghost, I would haunt Brandon's van as seen in Stealing Solo.
The irony is that Brandon does not own a van.
No?
I do know what vehicles he does own, and neither one of them is a van.
Does he get phone calls about his warranty being expired on his newer used 1996 Toyota?
I mean, I'm sure he does. I get fucking calls all the damn time about the warranty that's expired on my Toyota. I'm like,
I don't own a Toyota anymore. And finally, if I was a ghost, I would haunt Lucasfilm and convince them that the Force is real. Just imagine messing with people into thinking that the Force is real and I'm a spiritual mentor.
Oh my god. That would be hilarious.
Also, our friend, this is Breadman Productions, I believe. He says, hi, Jeff and WCBS crew. July 15th is Angels in the Outfield's 30th anniversary. Will we get a drunk commentary for it? Well,
yes.
Possibly. It's a Monday. We could do it. It'll be promoted by Wokebusters, so it'll be a sponsored podcast. Drunk watch. We can do that. All that means is
Jeff,
we're just gonna
make sure that nobody here has a case of the Mondays.
Yeah. Okay, so only 10 people can play the quiz. So the first 10 people on Twitter get to play our quiz. That'd be fun. But guys, fair. I think we should go at 3 hours and change. Is there anything else that you think we should cover? Or since Dion left, we should close up ship before
clearly
midnight?
he abandoned the ship and it wasn't even sinking.
Yeah, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck?
I guess
All right,
Nick offended him.
Started talking about Bad Boys, and he's like, you know what? I'm out. I'm not gonna. I'm fucking done. I'm done. I'm out. I'm done.
These things happen.
To each his own.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I was hoping that he would watch it as well and give me some, and give me some pushback, but apparently not.
I think he did watch it, and he just stepped away and fell asleep.
That also is entirely possible.
That could be it too.
We just had a WCBS classic moment happen on air, folks. The death of Dion Green.
The death of jeez.
Hey, the NBA lost their logo, and we lost our logo too. Next week, we'll replace Dion with a mannequin or a life model decoy, whichever we can afford.
On a horse.
On a horse. We'll just replace Dion with an actual horse.
Oh my god.
We'll unmute it. every 20 minutes.
I mean, there's enough AI like shit out there. We could just replace him with an AI version of himself. It would just,
That's also true.
Let's
really
create an AI, a fifth bullshitter in AI, and like have him on the show and see how it goes down.
I mean, you could get ChatGPT to talk to you, Jeff, and make a thing that way. It does a voice thing for your phone.
Let's do that on a show one week. Let's do that next week. Because we can just sit and be like, all right, let's have this guy tell me a story about your Uncle Ted. My Uncle Ted was a bad man. And okay, stop. So
Well, no, ChatGPT is very it's very restrictive. It won't do certain things. So yeah. But no, it does have the phone app where you can do a voice prompt, so you can always try that and see how off the rails it goes.
We need to make fun of our robotic overlords, folks, because they don't get it. They don't know what humor is. They can't comprehend it. It's just a string of words that won't work for them. So let's make fun of this shit because it can't fight back. We win. We lampoon AI till it's obsolete, Nick. That's the way we win.
Yeah. I mean, I believe it. I mean, it's once again, AI are just the fucking. It's what's happened is AI are now like the are now just the call center guys in India. That's all they are. They're just typing out shit all at a really fast pace. That's it.
Dion is definitely asleep because you can see that the streaming show that he watched is over and the recommendations are on this TV screen in the reflection.
So he's just asleep.
You know what we should do?
I'm going to bed.
Guys, I got a good idea. We should go. We should let the show run with just Dion and see how long it lasts.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
You can cut it
Can you
later.
imagine this? It's just the 24-hour Dion.
This is like aquarium Jeff all over again.
Yeah, but it's funny because it would go on for 8 hours straight.
That's true.
He goes to work. He's like, "Oh, what?
The computer's still on." You know what's gonna happen? His kid's gonna get on here.
All right, fine. I'll set an alarm for 3 a.m. and turn it off. Then we'll give people 3 hours.
Yeah, because that's the thing I'm wondering is his kid's gonna get up and screw with the camera or do something. I don't know.
If he had a cat, it would sit on the screen right now.
Yeah, that's true. It would.
Yes, the live Dion chair reaction stream. So, folks, thank you for joining us tonight. Episode 404 was another success. We have another win in the book of WCBS. Now, like we told you, folks, we have all kinds of exciting new stuff coming your way. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. We'll be back on Saturday with a toy video because I'm going out to film and a whole lot more. But, folks, you can help us out. Go over to Kickstarter, get yourself a copy of Wokebusters. The days are counting down, but the people are going up. So thank you to everybody. We're already 25% of the way there, and everything's moving along nice and smooth. So we'll continue to push that. We'll push it even harder to grow and take it to the top. But everybody, be prepared. You got a great comic coming your way. I'm very proud of it. It was a lot of work, but it was worth it. So, folks, if you like Ghostbusters, if you want to make fun of society, well, you know what to do. But if you want to make fun of Star Wars, we'll be back on Tuesday night to talk about the Acolyte because Star Wars makes fun of itself. Nick, Kendo, is there anything else you'd like to say before we go?
Free Ayo.
My Germany will win the Euro 2024 that starts tomorrow.
Oh, another thing. I would like to thank the American cricket team for dominating Pakistan.
That's true.
You should calm down with your patriotism, man. We get it that you're a proud American, but the fact that you called me at 3 a.m. to tell me about the win.
Nick is
Dude, listen. I was excited because they beat a not country. That's why.
Fights for the rights of everybody that's not Pakistani.
La, la,
Nick is
la,
a
la,
real
la,
American. Hate Pakistan and loves Vindaloo on Nan. See, there you go.
You know what, Kendo? There is an AI software you can write a song.
It's true. Or I could just do it myself and just.
Or you
the song is. It's just called Vindaloo, and it's about how Nick hates Pakistan.
Is that going on Party Boob? Is that a secret track?
Sure, why not? And then we can do the music video.
Sure, we'll get.
Oh my god!
Let's have fun with it, guys. Let's make it happen.
Let's do it.
I'm in.
All right, friends. Well, thank you for watching. We'll be back next time with more. But in the meantime, be smart, be safe, be cool, but always be excellent to each other.
.com.
Don't you just hate wokeness and the toll it takes on society? Well, bust it with Wokebusters. Set in a world where outrage turns people into literal monsters, Wokebusters follows the 4 men who step up to save society from itself. It's funny, colorful, and action-packed. This 100-page epic is only available on Kickstarter for a limited time, so act now before the clock runs out and wokeness wins. Got outrage? Call Wokebusters.